You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
The Kernels up their current 8-game homestand record to 5-2 with a come-from-behind thrilling win last night, 4-3. An RBI double by Larry Infante tied the game at 3-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning, scoring Heinley Stacia. Then the Bees' strategy was to walk Mark Trumbo to try to get a double play and end the ninth and send the game into extra innings, but that strategy was foiled by Colonel catcher Brett Martinez, who wrapped a game-winning hit on the ground into left field to send the Kernels home, a 4-3 winner. The Kernels have won 3 straight in this series over Burlington and stand at 8-6 in the season's second half. As promised, Bob Brooks is with us for a second time here at the ballpark. It's Brooks at bat. Bob is a legendary Hall of Fame sportscaster who's able to come to darn near all of the Colonel home games. And, Bob, it was ironic. You and I were scheduled to have Brett Martinez join us for a chat on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, but something far more important, tradition intervened, Kangaroo Court. And Kangaroo Court is a term that some baseball insiders are familiar with, others just scratch their head. In a nutshell, Bob, what was Brett Martinez involved in?
Well, in a nutshell, it's they relieve you of some money. In a nutshell, this is a Kangaroo Court that's set up for players to pay a small amount of money for fines for things that they did on the playing field that did not contribute to victory and maybe contributed to defeat. For instance, failing to move a runner along on a bunt, failure to hit behind the runner, failure to get a fly ball with a runner at third and less than 2 out. And then maybe little things that miss signal, for instance.
Or if it's your...
Or there's some comedy to this, too.
Right.
Tripping over third base or something like that.
Or it could be for a pitcher walking the number 9 hitter when he's batting 160.
That's right.
Something, little mess-ups. And then, Bob, I remember seeing a picture of Tim McCarver holding Kangaroo Court for the 1967 World Champion Cardinals known as the Albertos. He had a mop head on his head to make him look like an old magistrate from England. Kangaroo Court can, if done properly, be kind of a way to loosen up and laugh and not take the game so seriously. And also, what's the fine money used for then?
Well, usually it's, in my day, we used for a big party at the end of the year. They took the fine money. So, some clubs that higher level than this would give it to charity or that sort of thing when the fines were stiffer. This is just a way to promote camaraderie, and it would not be run by the manager, I would not think.
No.
It's run by the players,
yes.
And it's their deal, and they can have as much fun with it as they want.
And it's not a democracy with a jury.
No, there's no vote.
Kangaroo, that's the term. Bob Brooks is with us here at the ballpark, and Bob, the second half, the Kernels have done some things that we really weren't getting done. Those that read Jeff Johnson's accounts of the game in the Gazette, I think Jeff's done a pretty good job basically saying that even though we lost to All-Star 10-game winner Nick Adenhart, if this ball club can produce some runs offensively, we still probably have enough pitching to make ourselves a very serious threat as a playoff club.
Well, you would think so now, with the way that they have played this past week. The most important thing, we touched on it yesterday, too, in talking to Marco Albano about heading to the opposite field and just putting the bat on the ball and getting it in play and moving it. And this is, runs have been the big story of this team's failures. Pitching has been the big story of this team's success. And tonight, Mendoza, who has suffered a little bit, started hot, cooled off, has come back strong, and I look for him tonight to put up some good numbers in this game and give Cedar Rapids a chance to sweep Burlington and go on to West Michigan.
Well, that would be great because we're going to run into a buzzsaw in Grand Rapids. The Whitecaps are 12-2. They're really playing well. And, yes, Tommy Mendoza, Midwest League Pitcher of the Week, hasn't lost since May 18th. And, Bob, I know our fans would appreciate your memories of Big League All-Star games because the All-Star game, although I think it's been talked ad nauseum by the national media about whether the way they pick the players is right and whether it should determine who has the home field advantage in the World Series. But I remember you saying you were at the same All-Star game I was as an 8-year-old. I went to the 1966 116-degree game in St. Louis. In your sportscasting career and in your journalistic career, Bob, approximately how many All-Star games can you remember covering or getting to be a part of?
Well, let's see. One with the Chicago White Sox, one in Milwaukee, one at the Metrodome, one in St. Louis. I think that would be about it.
The one at the Metrodome, Bob, intrigues me because if I remember right, Major League Baseball still tries to do this. They try to let a team that has a relatively new facility and a new stadium host as early as possible to showcase that. Back in the early 80s when it was up in Minneapolis, were people even then leery and saying, boy, this isn't a great venue for baseball? Or were they saying, wow, this is the first air-supported structure. This is great because in April and September and October, the Minneapolis can be very bad weather. What was the general feeling up in Minneapolis a little over 20 years ago?
About the same as it is today, that the place should not be used for baseball. I was in the press area when talking to the Major League press, and there was the opinion that this arena did not suit baseball. It was a period of time when they were having a great deal of difficulty picking up the ball because of the roof and the fact the ball would hit speakers or lights or something. But the worst thing about it is that surface up there behaves like a piece of concrete. And it's a wonder they have not had some broken jaws and serious injuries off that field. But they haven't. But it makes things, it changes the game completely. I mean, you have to play, you should use softball terms up there, using short outfielders and back infielders and that sort of thing.
Well, I know a player can't get too close to a ball there even now, or it'll go over his head, and Cub fans remember how...
You don't know what it's going to do.
Right. It's like playing, as you say, on concrete or a billiard table. I remember Andre Dawson couldn't wait to get out of Montreal because the surface was the same, and he was saying that surface in Montreal was so hard that he thought it shortened his career some.
Probably did. Probably would wear out the knees or the ankles or something of that sort. You're pounding out there all the time, and there isn't any give to it. But the grand people of Minnesota and the Dakotas and western Wisconsin and northern Iowa and the Twin Strait area can look forward to going back outdoors in April and May with a new stadium.
That's right, and we'll. I think they approved all the funding except, Bob, I don't think they approved a retractable roof, did they?
No, they did not. It's going to be
all outdoors all the time.
Well, if you come from there, they always tell me they're tough. So
well, we'll see how tough.
I always go back, as you would, to the days of Bud Grant, showing up in short-sleeve shirts with temperature below zero, and
for a psychological effect on the opposition. And they tell me that the old Met, which is now where the Mall of America is in Bloomington, that it was susceptible to big mosquitoes.
Yes.
So I hope they don't have that problem.
Big mosquitoes and cold nights.
That's right.
It was something else. One of the funniest things I ever had happen at a All-Star game was the game at County Stadium in Milwaukee. I was telling Tom Barbie the other day, well, the 4th of July out here when we had such a wonderful crowd, and the supplies were getting low.
The concessions?
Concession area, they were getting down to the end of some things, and I said, Tom, there was an all-star game up there that went extra innings in the days of the Milwaukee Braves. And this was the day, in the day when you didn't have relief specialists and so on, and you didn't have as many pitchers and that sort of thing. But Stan the Man Musial got the winning hit.
Yes, in the 12th.
The National League in the 12th inning.
I do remember reading about that.
Gene Conley of the Milwaukee Braves was the winning pitcher.
The real tall fella that played professionally with the Celtics.
That's right. Yeah.
Boy, Bob, your memory is amazing.
But the memory I had of the whole game was I was up there filing some reports after the game, so it was quite a while after the game had ended that I left the park, and I went downstairs and came out the center tunnel, and there was a fellow walking out of the park that was all hunched over and everything, sweat pouring off of him. And I said, sir, you probably had a busy day. He said, yes. He said, I'm the concession manager. And you know what? He turned around and he drew himself up. He said, I don't have a piece of Wrigley's Spearmint Gum left in this ballpark. He said, we sold out of everything. Then I said, how could you do that? Because in those days, the Milwaukee Ball Club allowed the Good Burgers of Wisconsin to bring their picnic baskets into the park. So these people not only had been able to bring the food in, they bought them out of the food, too, during this elongated game. And he said, if you want a beer, he said, there isn't a bar around here that has a beer within 5 miles of this place because we bought it all during the game.
They had to get on the phone and get the local taverns to bring in their kegs.
Anything.
Wow. Bob, I'm glad we were a little more prepared for our big crowd on the 4th of July than they were in Milwaukee. Those are great memories. We're going to take...
When you allow people to bring food in and then sell out of all you've got,
yeah,
I don't.
And the fact that you remembered that he say, I don't even have a stick of Wrigley Spearmint Gum. That would be the very last thing to go. It would be like
yes.
Something on an island that you would, if you had it in your pocket, you would save that as your last provision. We're going to take a break and have one more last thought from Bob Brooks on Brooks at Bat here at the ballpark. The Kernels getting ready to wrap up an 8-game homestand that has seen us make big strides in the second half, 5-2. Bob and I will be back in just a moment here on the Kernel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Truly Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, to the home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Well, Bob Brooks, our time has evaporated, unfortunately, but I sure do want to thank you for joining us in those, talking about how well the Kernels are playing and also commenting on the all-star games that you've been able to see and that really neat story. You said, Bob, as a final thought, that you went to our Wells Blue Bunny ice cream stand on Tuesday, the 4th of July. We had our biggest crowd here of the year. You went after the game when some of the crowd had left, but most stayed for the Freedom Festival fireworks. And what was the result of your visit to the Wells Blue Bunny ice cream stand?
Well, thank goodness they still had some.
Boy, I'll tell you, you get that big a crowd, and you just never know.
Well, as well as you plan
yes.
everything, you don't know exactly what is going to happen. It's a science,
yes.
and it's a big deal for the minor leagues and the major leagues. The concessions and the products and the way you treat the people and the things you have available, that brings them to the ballpark.
That's right.
Or it keeps them away.
And that is very, very good point, Bob, because Doug Nelson and Dave Soper work tirelessly consulting experts, running numbers, doing surveys. They try to take input from all quarters to make sure, as you just said, that coming to the ballpark for the great food and beverage is a reason to come and stay and keep coming back and not a turn-off. Bob,
I would say that in our board of directors meetings that from listening to the input and everything, more time is spent in the front office on concessions and the way to do it and the handling of the public than any other thing.
I would agree, Bob. We only have 70 home dates out of 350-plus days in a year, and we have to make the most of hosting. It'd be like having a party at your house 70 nights a year. You want to make it memorable for all of your guests. Bob, speaking of concessions outside the ballpark, Zio Giano's. I know that you and your family enjoy visiting any of our Zio Giano's spaghetti houses for the best in homemade pasta. They cater to one person up to 10,001. Please enjoy, along with your grandkids and your family, Bob, some good food at Zio Giano's, and we'll look forward to having you join us at bat a time or two on our upcoming homestand after our visit to Grand Rapids.
Well, listen, win a few on the road and keep up the good work.
Well, thanks, Bob. That'll be the goal, to finish up this homestand strong and then do well against the best team in the Midwest League starting tomorrow evening. Bob Brooks, thanks a million.
You're welcome.
That's Bob Brooks, legendary sportscaster Hall of Famer. The Kernels are taking the field for this series finale against the Burlington Bees. Let's set the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup for you. Allen's is open late until 9 o'clock tonight, and they have 2005 Buick LeSabre Customs for just $199 a month. Plus, your first year's maintenance is free at Allen's when you buy now a plush, lush, and affordably priced 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom. Leading off for the Kernels this evening in the Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup in center field, he enjoyed a day off yesterday, Brad Kuhn. Batting second, Josh Davies. He has 12 RBIs in only 10 games. Davies will be in left. Hitting third for the Kernels, the red-hot shortstop. He's playing shortstop, giving Heinley Stacia a well-deserved night off. Larry Infante batting third, playing shortstop. The Colonel cleanup batter is 12 for 36 against Burlington pitching this year, designated hitter Flint Whipke. Jordan Renz will be in right field and bat fifth for the Colonels. Marco Albano, our guest on Brooks at Bat yesterday on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show last night, that is. Marco will be at second and bat sixth. Hitting seventh, the first baseman Mark Trumbo. Dallas Morris will be at the hot corner and bat eighth. And batting ninth, Brett Martinez, the catcher. On the hill is Tommy Mendoza, 18-year-old Colonel right-hander, Midwest League Pitcher of the Week, 5-5, 4.32 ERA. Tommy making his third start against Burlington. He's 1-0 with a 1.69 ERA. The Bees, I'll give you their starting lineup in just a moment. Right now, though, Clancy Harrington, the local Dairy Queen president, is behind home plate facing center field, and Clancy Harrington, president of Lynn County Dairy Queens, will sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
By Clancy Harrington. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Clancy Harrington. Clancy acknowledging the great hand he has warranted from singing the Star Spangled Banner. If you've ever heard Wayne Messmer in Chicago, Clancy's voice is just as full and uplifting as Wayne Messmer's. Clancy Harrington from Dairy Queen, our national anthem singer. Jim Gabella brings his Royal farmhands in for the fourth and final game of this four-game series. Burlington has hit the skids a little bit in the second half. They're 4-10, and they've fallen 5 games off the pace in the Western Division second half standings. Leading off for the Bees, Jose Duarte in center field. Jeremy Jersley will bat second for Burlington. He's in left. The third baseman bats third, Mario Lasone. Lasone hitting third at third base. Miguel Vegas, the cleanup batter. He'll be at first base for Burlington. Batting fifth and catching, Jeff Howell. In right field, it's Carlos Arroyo batting sixth. Batting seventh, the designated hitter for Burlington, Brady Everett. Chris McConnell will hit eighth and play short. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Valentino Arce. We get the first look of the season, making his Midwest League debut, a second-round draft pick of the Bees in 2004 from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Erik Cordier. Cordier spells his last name Cordier. Erik Cordier, a second-round pick by Burlington in 2004, missed all of last year. He's only 20 years old, and he missed all of last year due to a knee injury. The umpires are sponsored by Anderson & Brown Eye Care, your comprehensive, complete eye care center where you can have your eyes examined by Dr. Tom Anderson or Dr. Todd Brown and then pick out your glasses and contact lenses right on site. Anderson & Brown Eye Care, easy in, easy out, where things are coming into focus. Tommy Mendoza's first pitch is over, a strike called to Jose Duarte. We're underway on this Thursday night. Now a blooper into right, falls for a base hit. Jose Duarte goes the other way and swats the 0-1 pitch into right. And Jordan Renz gets it back in. Jose Duarte has singled on an 0-1 pitch to start the game for Burlington. Duarte tied the game at 2 last night with a 2-out RBI double in the 8th inning, and he starts tonight's contest with a base hit into right. That brings in Jeremy Jersley. Jersley, a 30th round pick out of Wisconsin Oshkosh, didn't play in last night's Kernel 4-3 win. And a thrilling win it was. Jersley grounds it to third. Dallas Morris throws to second out, and Albano to first. Not in time. A bang-bang play. And the Kernel's bid to turn it around the horn double play was just short at first base. Jose Duarte, who singled into right to start tonight's game, is forced at second. The ball was grounded right down the third baseline. Dallas Morris fielded it straddling the line in front of the bag. Dallas whipped his throw to Marco Albano at second for the force of Duarte, and then Marco's peg to first was not quite in time to complete an around-the-horn double play. Let's give you the Anderson & Brown Eye Care umpiring crew. Remember, Anderson & Brown is the official eye care provider of the Kernels. Robert Boyle is behind the plate calling the balls and strikes. His partner on the diamond, Matt Schaffert. Swinging a foul after taking a strike, and it's 0-2 to Mario Lasone. Lasone hitting .240, 7 home runs, 41 driven in. Mario Lasone is second to our Brad Kuhn in stolen bases. He has 24, and he's only been caught 3 times. Lasone, the number 3 hitter, batting .240. And he swings and misses at a fastball up and in. He was trying to protect himself, and his torso rotated with his hand staying locked, but he swung at the pitch high and in, and that's strike 3 on Mario Lasone. 2 out here in the B first inning, and the batter, Miguel Vega. 80 degrees, our game time temperature. Miguel Vega, a power-hitting first baseman with 10 home runs, hitting .246. Right-handed batter rolls one to short. Down to get it, Larry Infante, and he throws to first in time to retire Miguel Vega and take care of the Bees here in the top of the first inning. No runs for Burlington after a leadoff single by Duarte, their leadoff batter. There were no Colonel errors and the Bees leave one aboard. It's just past the top of the hour. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. After one half inning, Colonels nothing. After one half inning, Burlington nothing. Colonels coming to bat, and we'll keep it right here for just a moment to remind you that tomorrow evening's game will be heard at 5:40 South Slope Communications Triple Play Showtime, the Bobby Montagianis Ask the Manager show tomorrow evening. You'll hear that one on 1450 KMRY. Scott Unash will have the races here in the zone. Colonels coming to bat in the bottom of the first. Burlington nothing. Colonels coming to bat.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Brad Kuhn enjoyed a rare night off in the Colonel 4-3 win last night, and the first pitch from right-hander Erik Cordier, Cordier, is outside, ball one. Erik Cordier making his Midwest League debut tonight. There's a fastball pumped in, a strike called to the Colonel leadoff batter, Brad Kuhn, who has his average up to 271. No homers, 21 RBIs, and a league-high 30 stolen bases. Kuhn lifts the 1-1 pitch high in the air to left, near the line, and it's gloved by Jeremy Jersley. Brad Kuhn has flown to left for the first out. I want to correct myself. Brad enjoyed a day off on the 4th of July. He played last night. I hope his parents aren't throwing pots and pans at the computer. I know they listen on www.kernels.com, and they're probably thinking, John, Brad played last night. Yes, he did. Brad Kuhn was 0 for 4 last night, and he flies to left to begin tonight's action. Now Josh Davies, who's been a big spark in the Colonel scheme of things of late, takes a strike. The right-handed hitting Davies now cranks the next pitch foul to the B third base dugout. It's 0-2 to Josh Davies. Josh, in 10 games, has driven in 12 runs. Davies grounds one off his fist to third. Mario Lasone has it and zips his throw to first in time, and there are 2 gone here in the Colonel first inning. Josh Davies is hit safely in each of the first 3 games of this series. Josh collected the first Colonel hit of last night's game against B starter Chris Nickel. It was a leadoff double in the 7th, and that was a big lift for the Colonels, who went on to score 2 runs in that 7th inning and take a 2-1 lead before rallying in the bottom of the 9th after the Bees scored a run in the 8th, 1 in the 9th to take a 3-2 lead. The Colonels rallied in the bottom of the 9th, due in large part to this man, number 3 batter, Larry Infante. A curve, a beauty from Erik Cordier, a strike called. Larry now backs away from a fastball low and in. Ball 1. The Bees are wearing their gray road uniforms with royal blue socks, royal blue caps, royal blue numbers trimmed in white. A tap to second on 2 hops. Reaching high is Valentino Arce to glove it, and the short toss to first gets Larry Infante. And we heard from Gerald Turner our good friend in the Kansas City organization, that we'd be in for a treat tonight watching Erik Cordier, a kid from Green Bay, Wisconsin, pitch. And I have to say Gerald Turner so far is right on in his assessment. He said Cordier was special, and Erik looked very good as he retired the Kernels quickly and in order in the lower half of the first inning. And after one, Tommy Mendoza, 18-year-old Kernel right-hander, back to the hill. It's the Bees and Kernels scoreless.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for the Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
Jeff Howell, the catcher and number 5 hitter for the Bees, lifts the first pitch of the second inning high and deep over the head of Josh Davies, who just failed to keep it in the ballpark. A leadoff homer on the first pitch of the second inning for Jeff Howell. It's his second home run of this series and his fifth home run of the season. Jeff Howell hit one high and deep to left. I didn't think he got enough of it. Josh Davies scaled the 8-foot-high wall below the Westdale Mall Mixed 96.5 FM Whirling Waters home run hot tub and could not keep it in the park. A leadoff homer by Jeff Howell. First pitch swinging here in the Bees' second gives Burlington an early 1-0 lead. Burlington's not a power-hitting club. Now a 1-0 pitch is stroked high off to the left by left-handed hitting Carlos Arroyo. Arroyo was 1 for 4 last night, singled his first time up. And the home run by Jeff Howell, his 5th of the year. Tommy's changeup is grounded to first, knocked down by Trumbo. Mark regains the handle with his glove and waves off Tommy Mendoza, and Carlos Arroyo has been retired on a sharply hit grounder to first on a good changeup from Tommy Mendoza. This game being played at breakneck pace, more like a hockey game, whisking right along. We haven't had a chance to tell you how well Tommy Mendoza's pitched this season. He's won 5, lost 5, 108 in a third innings pitched, and he's only allowed 104 hits. And he brings in a strike called at the knees to Brady Everett, the designated hitter and number 7 hitter for Burlington. The 0-1 for Mendoza is lifted in the air to left center. Josh Davies converges with Brad Kuhn. Davies calls, and Josh catches the towering fly ball in left center for the second out here in the Bees' second inning. They lead it 1-0. Tommy Mendoza has struck out 90 batters in 108 in the third innings, walked only 23. And this is his 18th start of the season, a 4.32 ERA. Tommy beat Dayton earlier on this homestand, Saturday night, 7-2. He went 8 innings here Saturday night and allowed only 1 run. It was unearned on just 3 hits. Struck out 4, walked none. Ball 1 high and outside to Chris McConnell, the right-handed hitting shortstop, with a 175 average. Chris dumps one into shallow right, and it falls beyond the diving effort of Marco Albano. It falls beyond Marco's reach, and in front of Jordan Renz. It's a Texas League 2-out single by Chris McConnell. Boy, that thing just did get out over the head of the diving Kernel second baseman, who went way, way out into shallow right, about 65 to 70 feet out in shallow right. Marco Albano with his body turned towards the 390 mark, a headlong, sprawling dive, and it was just beyond Marco's reach. Here's Valentino Arce. Ball one upstairs from Tommy Mendoza. The Kernels are in a three-way tie for second place in the second half standings in the West, 8-6. Peoria and King County have already qualified for the playoffs, so essentially the Kernels are tied for first with Beloit. Here's a foul up onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, and we have two big groups above the Colonel first base dugout, one from Johnson Gas and Appliance Company, the other from Crescent Electric. And we welcome them to the ballpark. The lights have been turned on here. As the sun has disappeared, I wouldn't call it cloudy or overcast. I would just call it the sun not shining. A changeup is in the dirt, and it's ball two to the right-handed hitting Pepper Pot. Valentino Arce. He's from Panama, and he's hitting .215, no homers, 12 RBIs, right-handed batter with a deep knee bend. The 2-1 from Mendoza is sliced foul up onto the Papa John's Plaza right field line, and it's strike two. Burlington with that home run from Jeff Howell. It's only their 29th home run in this, their 82nd game. Burlington is 13th, next to last in the league in home runs, with a total now of 29. The Kernels have belted 49. There goes the runner, and a shallow ground ball to short, charged by Infante. Larry comes charging in and unloads in time to get Valentino Arce and end the B second inning. Chris McConnell was running on that 2-2 pitch, and Valentino Arce was jammed. A good pitch by the Colonel 18-year-old right-hander, and Arce grounds out weakly to short. One run. We're so used to saying no runs with Tommy Mendoza on the mound. One run for the Bees, a leadoff homer for Jeff Howell, his second home run of the series. 2 hits. There were no Colonel errors, and Burlington leaves one man aboard. We're already going into the bottom of the second inning with Burlington leading the Kernels 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
Summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants, and the best place to buy those fresh, blooming, colorful flowers and plants is Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. Family-owned and serving eastern Iowa since 1956, Peck's offers you, the customer, the very best plants and flowers in our market. Peck's is your professional and award-winning FTD and Teleflora florist, certified and year-round garden center, nursery and landscape headquarters, and as I said, plant and flowers galore, top in the area. Stop in often this summer for Peck's fresh flowers and feature fresh-cut short-stem roses, just $11.99 per dozen, cash and carry. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery Landscaping, they're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast, and they've been a fixture in our community for 50 years. Peck's is open until 8 o'clock weeknights and until 5 on Saturday and Sundays. Flint Whipke, who's had a great deal of success against the Bees this season, 12 for 36, takes strike one called on the outside corner from Erik Cordier. And now Erik fires low for ball one. Cordier last pitched Friday in Idaho Falls against the Casper Rockies, and he and his mates beat Casper 16-4. A 1-1 pitch is lofted foul into the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. Strike two on Flint. 1-0 in favor of Burlington here in the second inning. Erik Cordier, 1-0 in 3 starts with Idaho Falls. His changeup is low, and it's 2-2 to Flint. On Friday night in Idaho Falls, Cordier went 5 innings, surrendered 2 runs to Casper on 3 hits, struck out 5, walked 1. Whipke crowns one sharply foul off the railing of the B third base dugout. 1-0 Bees. We're in the bottom of the second inning. The Kernels are wearing white home uniforms with red numbers trimmed in black, red batting helmets, navy blue caps with red bills and red socks. The 2-2 to the Colonel cleanup batter. Breaking pitch inside, ball 3. Flint Whipke did not play last night. Flint has a league-high 8 triples, and he's batting .255. 1 homer, 22 RBIs for the right-handed hitting Colonel cleanup batter, who strokes it on the ground to deep short. On 2 hops, McConnell has it, throws high, and that's a throwing error. Flint Whipke is aboard as the tying run. Miguel Vega had to climb the ladder, leap off the bag at first, and Flint Whipke is aboard on a throwing error by Chris McConnell, the shortstop. It's his 17th error of the year. Flint Whipke is aboard as the tying run with nobody out here in the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 Bees. Just having seen Erik Cordier and knowing Jordan Renz's strengths and weaknesses, I think Jordan is going to have a good night at the plate. I really do. I think he'll hit this right-hander well. A broken bat bouncer, bad bounce over the shortstop's head. Whipke racing towards third. The throw cut off. Renz to second. Wild throw, but the first baseman backing it up saves a run. A broken bat, bad hop single over the head of the shortstop, Chris McConnell, who was ready to glove it and start a double play, but the ball hit something, a rut or a pebble on the clay portion of the skin infield, and it jettisoned over the head of Chris McConnell, and that's a tough break for the Bees. A broken bat, 1 hopper off the bat of Jordan Renz, and the only choice in this matter will be a double. Well, or a single, or go to second on the relay. The Kernels, believe it or not, have runners at second and third with nobody out, and that will be ruled, I believe, a double for Jordan Renz. Second and third, nobody out. Marco Albano takes a strike called. From Erik Cordier, Cordier. Marco Albano sat out last night's contest, a right-handed hitter. A curve tapped up the middle. McConnell gets to it in front of the bag, throws out Albano, and the Kernels tie the game as Flint Whipke crosses the dish to make it 1-1. Marco Albano drives in his 14th run of the year. Marco just put the ball in play and bounced it to shallow short. Chris McConnell, who started the inning by throwing one high to first, allowing Flint Whipke the tying run to reach, pegged on target for the first out of the inning. Jordan Renz, with good base running, went to third, and Mark Trumbo has a chance here in the bottom of the second inning, to give the Kernels the lead. Boy, is this game being played quickly. Most of the hitters are swinging at the first pitch. The first pitch to Trumbo is over but low, a fastball. Boy, a kid like Erik Cordier growing up in Green Bay, there's limited time to play baseball in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Let me tell you that. Ball 2, over but low, a fastball to Mark Trumbo. Mark hitting .203, 10 home runs, second to Jordan Renz, 36 runs driven in. Renz, the go-ahead runs at third. The B infield is pulled in for the play at the plate. The 2-0 to Mark Trumbo. Cracked hard into deep left, over the head of Jersley, off the base of the wall. Renz chugs home to make it 2-1. Jeremy Jersley takes a tumble on the warning track, but then heaves it back into the infield, and it's an RBI double by Mark Trumbo. Trumbo hit a scalding bullet that sailed over the head of Jeremy Jersley, off the base of the Budweiser sign in left center. Mark Trumbo has his 37th RBI of the year. He drives home Jordan Renz to make it a 2-1 game in favor of the Kernels here in the bottom of the second inning. Man, Erik Cordier fell behind Trumbo, and Mark jumped all over a 2-0 pitch and belted it over the head of the left fielder, Jeremy Jersley, to give the Kernels a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. Now, Dallas Morris will bat. Dallas, a right-handed hitter with a .219 average, swings late and misses, strike one. Mark Trumbo walked twice, went 0 for 2 last night. Trumbo slugged a 2-out, 3-run homer in the first inning on the 4th of July to give the Kernels a 4-1 lead. He puts the Kernels up 2-1 here in the home half of the second. The 0-1 is inside, a breaking pitch to Dallas Morris from Erik Cordier. Dallas Morris, 1 for 3 last night, doubled leading off the 8th inning. The Kernels failed to chase him home, and I thought we were sunk after that 8th inning. But the Kernels scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Heinle Stacia got the 9th inning rally started with a base hit. Heinle is giving a much-deserved night off this evening before we head to Grand Rapids, Michigan, Michigan's second largest city. We're due to leave at 2 o'clock this morning. Dallas Morris lays off a fastball inside. Ball 2 from the B right-hander. Now time is called. Erik Cordier pitched 16 innings in 3 starts with Idaho Falls, allowed only 11 hits, struck out 19 batters in 16 innings, walked only 3 in 16 innings. From the stretch, the 2-1 is hoisted foul over the Colonel first base dugout. And the count now 2-2 to Dallas Morris. We have a good-sized crowd still filing in to Veterans Memorial Stadium for this Thirsty Thursday. Trumbo a big lead at second. Cordier comes set below the letters, and his breaking pitch is lashed foul right in front of the chest of Colonel hitting coach, coaching at first, Eric Owens. The Kernels have had a great homestand, 5-2. They could take it from great to sensational by sweeping Burlington here tonight. Smoke is carrying over from the hot corner grill above the third base grandstand, carrying onto the field of play. Boy, is that a tempting aroma. The 2-2. Ground ball up the middle, that's a base hit. Trumbo's being waved home. Jose Duarte's pegged to the plate, and Mark Trumbo is saved. The throw skipped off the chest protector of catcher Jeff Howell. Otherwise, the Bees would have had Mark Trumbo. Mark gets up a little bit jippy as he slid hard into the plate to make it 3-1 Kernels. 3-1 Kernels on a ground ball base hit through the box by Dallas Morris. Trumbo scored ahead of the throw, a one-hop peg from Jose Duarte that short-hopped the catcher, Jeff Howell. The ball hit off Howell's chest protector, and on the throw home, Dallas Morris went to second, and the Kernels have scored three big ones here in the bottom of the second to erase a home run in the top of this inning by Jeff Howell, and good base running by Dallas Morris. He went to second on the throw home by Jose Duarte. Boy, this Colonel Ball Club's playing with exuberance, pride. They're having fun. It just is a totally different philosophy than we saw in the first half, where the Kernels were not being selective at the plate. They didn't look like they had that exuberant joy in their step. They were putting pressure on themselves, and we're going to have a pause in the action as the B pitching coach, Steve Luber, comes out to the hill. 3-1 Kernels. This inning started with shortstop Chris McConnell throwing a ground ball off the bat of Flint Whipke high, and Whipke wound up scoring on a Jordan Renz bad hop double. Whipke went to third on a Jordan Renz bad hop double over McConnell, the shortstop's head. Marco Albano tied the game with a ground ball out to short. That plated Flint Whipke. Renz went to third. Jordan scored on a double whacked over the head of Jeremy Jersley and left by Mark Trumbo. Trumbo's RBI double made it 2-1 Kernels. Then Mark scored moments ago on an RBI single through the box by Dallas Morris. Well, they say hitting's contagious. Let's hope the Kernels catch this hitting cold for the rest of the season. The first pitch to Brett Martinez, who won the game in the bottom of the ninth inning last night on a ground ball single to the left of Mario Lasone at third into left field, is low and away, ball one. From Erik Cordier. Fastball. Boy, Brett was right on it, and he laced it foul to the screen where John Campbell is poised and John's reporting on the game. TV9 Sports Director John Campbell has a TV9 camera hoisted on his right shoulder, right behind home plate. He's already had some highlights to take back to Channel 9. Swinging a foul, that one high up into the backstop, and Brett Martinez is in the hole 1-2. Brett hitting 225, 2 homers, 24 RBIs. Brett's RBI single in the ninth inning drove home Larry Infante and won the game for the Kernels 4-3. The 1-2 to the Colonel number 9 hitter, right-handed hitting catcher. Line drive, a sinking liner into center, caught by Duarte, who throws to second, and Dallas Morris, with very good base running, got back. Oh, tough hitting luck for Brett Martinez. He stroked it hard, hit it right on the screws, and when it left the bat, I thought it was going to sink in front of the charging center fielder, Jose Duarte, for yet another Colonel hit here in the second, but Duarte ate up the ground in shallow center and came on to catch it for the second out. And now Brad Kuhn bats with Morris at second and 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning. 3-1 Kernels. Brad flew out to left his first time up, and the first pitch zips upstairs, a fastball to Brad Kuhn. The lights are on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Low humidity, delightful 81 degrees. Brad Kuhn chops it to shallow first. It's gloved right off the blades of the grass by Miguel Vega. Vega then takes 4 quick steps to his left to make the play unassisted and end the Colonel's second inning. Brad Kuhn bounces out to second. The Colonels strike for 3 runs in the second inning on 3 hits, 1 big Burlington error. The Colonels strand a runner, our first left of the young evening. Tommy Mendoza pops back to the mound. He and the Colonels now hold a 3-1 advantage over the Bees. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Pepsi Smash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when you call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the hee-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Tommy Mendoza delivers the first pitch of the third inning. Downstairs, ball 1. A fastball from the Colonel right-hander to leadoff hitter Jose Duarte. Now an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, according to the Bank Iowa Speed Pitch Indicator, is a strike on the outside corner to the right-handed batter, Duarte. 3-1 Kernels. And a breaking pitch is a beauty, strike 2. Boy, Tommy's working with so much confidence, taking very little time between pitches. Wearing his Colonel Red Sox up high, Tommy shakes off his catcher, Brett Martinez. Now time is called, and Duarte steps out. Jose Duarte looped a Texas League single into right field, leading off tonight's action, but was stranded in that first inning. A fastball taken just outside, and it's 2-2 now to the right-handed hitting Duarte. Jose batting .260, no homers, 23 RBIs. Has 18 steals and 23 tries. Swing and a tipped foul over the head of the plate umpire, Robert Boyle. Count remains 2-2 to Duarte. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization from last night. Our parent club, the Angels, won 4-0 as Bartolo Colon picked up his first win of the season. He spun a 4-hit shutout. There's a line drive over the head of Mark Trumbo down the right field line. Jordan Renz gets to it in good shape and prevents Duarte from trying for a double. Good play by Jordan Renz, who had to go quickly to his left and cut that ball off. Duarte spanked it hard. He's 2 for 2, and the Bees have their leadoff man aboard here in the third inning, with the Colonels up 3-1. 2 of the 3 Colonel runs scored in the bottom of the second inning were earned against Bee starter Erik Cordier. So the Angels have crept within 4 games the 500 mark, 40-44. AAA Salt Lake got back on the winning track. They beat Colorado Springs 7-4. The runner dashes off first. A throw pass. Mark Trumbo will send Jose Duarte all the way to third. Wren's throw to third is cut off, and a throwing error by Brett Martinez. Jose Duarte was about a third of the way to second base. It looked like a botched hit-and-run attempt by Burlington, but then Brett Martinez whipped his throw to first, and it went off the glove of Mark Trumbo. I'm afraid the error will have to be charged to Brett Martinez, only his 6th of the year. Brett had the right idea. He gunned down to first, and a good throw. I think the Kernels would have had Jose Duarte. But it flicked off the glove of Trumbo and went all the way into the Kernel bullpen. Now the Kernel infield back. They'll trade a run for an out as an 0-1 pitch spins low and away. Ball 1 to Jeremy Jerschley. Jerschley, a right-handed hitter, batting 182. No homers, 13 RBIs. Jeremy reached on a fielder's choice, forcing Duarte third base to second in the first inning. Tommy's next pitch is a fastball, lifted foul, onto the first base grandstand roof. Former Kernel first baseman, third baseman Mike Elward was 3 for 4 for AAA Salt Lake in their win over Colorado Springs 7-4 last night. Elward homered and drove in 4 runs. Boy, is Mike Elward having a great AAA season. A line shot, a leaping catch at short by Larry Infante to take a run away from the Bees. Jeremy Jerschley hit a bullet headed into left center. Larry Infante timed his jump perfectly, and I mean Larry really had to have some hang time on that one. Larry Infante probably could have touched the rim of a 10-foot high NBA basket or hoop with that leaping stab. Now a curve is a beauty, a strike called to Mario Lasone. The Kernel infield is still back. Here in the third inning, Lasone has a great chance to drive home. Jose Duarte from third, a ground ball to short. Infante's long throw to first just in time. An RBI ground out for Mario Lasone cuts the Kernel lead to 1 run. It's 3-2 here in the third inning. Had Infante been playing in, he could have thrown home and gotten, or had a play at least, on Jose Duarte, but the Kernels chose not to play the infield in, and as a result, an RBI ground out by Mario Lasone, his team-high 42nd RBI of the year. Swatting the first pitch foul off to the right out of play is Miguel Vega. Arkansas upped its second-half record to 6-7. They only had 6 hits, but they got a great pitching performance from Jose Arredondo. He made his first Double-A start, and Arkansas blanked Wichita 1-0. The 1-1 from Tommy. Swing and a miss. Mendoza, a beautiful changeup, had the cleanup batter Miguel Vega way out in front. Miguel steps out. Boy, Vega has here's a towering fly ball in right, sending Jordan Renz a few steps back and to his right. Jordan's camped underneath it, and he makes the two-headed catch to end the Bees' third inning. Miguel Vega flies to right, 1 run for the Bees in the third on 1 hit, 1 Kernel error. It was an unearned run scored by Burlington, and the Bees leave the bases empty. Let's add in Rancho Cucamonga's win 4-1 over San Jose last night. A Kernel from earlier this spring, Patrick Riley, belted his 7th home run for Rancho Cucamonga. We go to the bottom of the third inning on a glorious Thursday night for baseball. The Kernels lead the Bees 3-2.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. We go to the home half of the third inning, and the Kernels are ahead 3-2 over the Burlington Bees. Remember, we'll hit the airwaves tomorrow at 5:40 local time, game one of a four-game series against the Detroit Tiger minor leaguers, the West Michigan Whitecaps. Here's a chopper to deep third off the bat of Davies, backhanded by Lasone. Wild throw over the head of Miguel Vega, and Mario Lasone has uncorked his second wild throw in his mini games. And the Colonel third inning starts just as the Colonel three-run second started, with the left side of the B infield exhibiting that they had too much spinach for lunch today. Man, those guys have been too strong-armed. Chris McConnell, the shortstop, threw one over the head of Miguel Vega, the first baseman, that helped the Colonels start their three-run second. And Mario Lasone heaves a peg over the head of the first baseman Vega to start the Colonel third inning. Here's Larry Infante. A double play ball to second. Arce feeds the shortstop McConnell on to first, and it's a 4-6-3 twin killing. Josh Davies barreled in underneath the legs of Chris McConnell, trying to tilt him over, but McConnell got rid of it, and Larry Infante has hit into a 4-6-3 double play. 2 out, nobody on here in the Colonel third inning. 3-2. Kernels. The batter is Flint Whipke, who reached on an error, a throwing error by shortstop Chris McConnell, and scored in the Colonel three-run second inning. Tomorrow night's action will be heard on our sister station here on the Colonel Radio Network, 1450 KMRY. Scott Unash will have the races for you right here in the zone. Ball one to Flint. Now a fastball from Erik Cordier is low for ball two. Orem's record is now 10-6, the Orem Owls in rookie ball, and the Arizona Angels have won 5 and lost 6. Strike one as Flint was taking all the way. Boy, that Salt Lake AAA affiliate of the Angels has won 51 games and lost 35. The AA Travelers in Arkansas, Little Rock, are 30-52. What a contrast between the AAA record and the AA mark. Strike two on the inside corner to Flint. Whipke with the homer, 22 runs driven in on the year. Checks his swing, and the 2-2 delivery is low from 20-year-old right-hander Erik Cordier. Both of these right-handers work quickly. Tommy Mendoza, the Midwest League Pitcher of the Week, and Erik Cordier making his first Midwest League start. The payoff to Flint. Just missed low and away. Boy, I was surprised that Robert Boyle, the plate umpire, didn't call strike three. That's how good a pitch it was. Low on the outside part of the plate at the knees, but Flint Whipke laid off and walks. Jordan Renz doubled and scored in the Colonel three-run second. I stated earlier I thought Jordan would have success against Erik Cordier. We got a break. Jordan hit what looked to be a double play ball on one hop to Chris McConnell, the Bee shortstop. It took a bad hop and went over McConnell's head into left center. Let's see if Jordan can dial in. Flint is running. A pitch up and in. A ball to throw to second in time. A high peg by Jeff Howell, but Valentino Arce leapt, caught it, and tagged out Whipke, and the caught stealing to end the Colonel third goes 2-4. Flint Whipke caught for the 8th time in 16 tries, trying to steal second, and that ends the Colonel third inning. No runs for the Colonels in the third. No hits, 1 BR. They're second of the game, and the Colonels lead. The base is empty. After 3, Colonels lead Burlington 3-2.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and tastes, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Jeff Howell swung at the first pitch, leading off the second, and launched it over the left field wall. He swings at Tommy Mendoza's first delivery of the fourth and whacks it foul over the backstop. 3-2 Kernels. We're in the top of the fourth inning. We have a final from earlier this afternoon to give you on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The 0-1 to the right-handed hitting catcher is nubbed foul into the Colonel first base dugout. 0-2 to Jeff Howell. And a breaking pitch is taken low from Tommy. It's 1-2 to Howell. State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Jerry Schubat, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn bring us our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Here in the fourth inning, Howell takes low, a changeup, ball 2. This afternoon at RFK Stadium in 11 innings, it was the Nationals clipping the Marlins 8-7. That was the only game played this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. A fastball is high and outside, and the count now full to the B number 5 hitter, Jeff Howell, batting .241, 5 homers, 22 RBIs. Here's the payoff offering. Swing and a miss! A fastball in on the hands of Jeff Howell. Tommy Mendoza records his second strikeout of the ball game. A special hello goes out to Tommy's father, Nelson Mendoza, and Tommy's mom, Angelinos Mendoza. Angelinos, I understand that Nelson calls you Cookie, and that's a pretty neat nickname, isn't it? Ball 1 is low to Carlos Arroyo. I had an aunt who's passed on. Her name was Aunt Cookie. The 1-0 to Arroyo. Ground ball to first. Mark Trumbo on one knee has it, waves off Tommy, and makes the play himself from behind the bag. Carlos Arroyo is retired for the second time, unassisted by Colonel first baseman Mark Trumbo. Tommy Mendoza is within an out of recording his first 1-2-3 inning of this game. Colonels up 3-2 here in the fourth inning. A let up is low and in, ball 1 to Brady Everett, who flew out to left his first time up. Now the 1-0. A line shot into left field, sending Josh Davies back 3 steps, and Josh has it. Brady Everett hit it hard, a liner to left to end the B fourth, and it is indeed the first 1-2-3 inning for the Colonel 18-year-old right-hander Midwest League Pitcher of the Week, Tommy Mendoza. Through 3.5 in the series and homestand finale, the Colonels on top of Burlington, 3-2.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the summer reading program. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butter Burgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, they will be invited to the Colonel's Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Colonel's players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper, she's a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 22 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Jordan Renz was at the plate when the Bees threw out Flint Whipke trying to steal second and end the Colonel third. Jordan checks up just in time, according to the plate umpire, and takes ball one inside from the Bee right-hander Erik Cordier. The 1-0. Jordan rips it foul past the third baseman into left. It skips off the maroon-colored tarp that proudly boasts this stadium built with union labor. And yes, it was. We still get jaws that drop open and rave reviews about the beautiful setting here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, union built. The 1-1 to Jordan sails upstairs. Jordan Renz doubled and scored in the Colonel 3-run second. 3-2 Colonels, bottom of the fourth inning. Erik Cordier's fastball is a half swing by Jordan, and it's tipped foul to the right of home plate. Jordan Renz's white home uniform is covered in dirt. That's because he slid in to second base, collecting his 18th double of the year in the second. Jordan's a 234 hitter, 15 home runs, 50 RBIs, both are team highs. There's ball three, low and outside, a breaking pitch. Jordan readies himself for the payoff delivery, and he swings hard and pounds it off his back foot. That hurts. Jordan Renz trying to walk that one off all the way out of the dirt batting circle toward the Colonel first base dugout. The Colonels are 21-21 at home. Boy, it's been a long uphill climb to reach that 500 mark here at home, but we've done it. 5-2 on the homestand, 21-21 overall here at home. The Colonels 8-6 in the second half, tied with Beloit and King County in second place. There's a ground ball to the left of the mound. Chris McConnell glides over to his left and scoops it up and on to first for the first out here in the Colonel fourth inning. Jordan Renz rolls out to the shortstop. One out here in the Colonel fourth inning. That big group from Agon filling the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion down the left field line. Boy, they're having fun. You can just look out there and see people chatting and socializing and walking around the 4 different tiers of the wood deck. Ball 1 to Marco, and now Marco hits a Baltimore chop to short. McConnell has it, throws high, and pulled Vega off the base. Marco Albano, the beneficiary of the third B throwing error of this game. McConnell took that Baltimore chop and knew he'd have to throw quickly to get Marco Albano. Now Jim Gabella is going to... Now what's Jim Gabella storming out of the B dugout for? He was... I thought at first going to argue with the base umpire, Matt Schaffert, but actually he was with Mark Stubblefield, the Burlington trainer, and they wanted to make sure that Miguel Vega was all right. He is. And that throwing error by Chris McConnell, his second of this evening. Mark Trumbo is now the batter. Trumbo bashed a double over the head of Jeremy Jersley, driving in a run. In the Colonel, 3-run second. Mark was out working about 2:30 this afternoon with the Angel minor league roving coordinator, Bruce Hines, who goes by the nickname of Jeter. Bruce Hines has been with the Angels a long time. He's the son of former Dodger confidant Ben Hines. The 1-0 to Mark Trumbo. And he pops it foul near the Papa John's Plaza. There is a play for Miguel Vega, and he drifts over and has it. Miguel Vega went into the Colonel right field bullpen and made a basket catch on a Mark Trumbo popped foul for the second out here in the the Colonel 4th inning. Mark Trumbo fouls out to first. 2 away, and the batter, Dallas Morris. Dallas wrapped an RBI single up the middle to make it 3-1 Colonels back in the second. Marco Albano has been successful 6 out of 8 times stealing. He has a big lead at first. He draws a throw, and Marco dives back in hand first. Good-sized crowd here on this Thursday night. We'll be back at home next Wednesday to open a 7-game homestand. It's the first of 4, or the first of 3 against the Clinton Lumber Kings. It'll be Clinton's first visit to our ballpark. And it's a Fairfax State Savings Bank Money Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 12th of July. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to come through the gates on Wednesday, July 12th will receive an envelope. A ground ball cracked to short. McConnell has it. Underhands to the second baseman, Arce. Dallas Morris forces Marco Albano. It went 6-4, and that ends the Colonel 4th inning. No runs in the 4th for the Colonels. No hits. The third error in as many innings by Burlington, and the Colonels leave 1 aboard. We've stranded 2. On Wednesday night, July 12th, the first 750 of you Colonel fans to come through the gates will receive an envelope from Fairfax State Savings Bank. In that envelope will be a cash amount from $1 to $100. That's how we'll kick off the 7-game homestand this coming Wednesday, July 12th. We go to the top of the 5th, and it's still the Colonels 3, the Bees 2.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Kill Honda, where they treat you right.
Chris McConnell leading off in the B5th, lifts the first pitch from Tommy Mendoza, high in the air to left center, and Brad Kuhn scoots over to his right to make the play. McConnell, first pitch swinging, has flown to center, and that is now 7 straight set down by Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza. Tommy sporting a 5 o'clock shadow to add to not an intimidation factor, but when a pitcher looks gruff and tough, the batters just have that little extra ounce of trepidation as they bat against him. A strike in to Valentino Arce, who grounded out to short in the second. Now a ball low. Arce, a right-handed batter with a .215 average. Valentino swings on the 1-1 pitch and fouls it away to the right. Strike 2. We're approaching the top of the hour, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. Arce wears his royal blue socks up high. He's in the hole, 1-2. Valentino bounces one to second. It's charged by Albano, and Marco sidearms it to first for the out. Marco Albano had to come in and to his right to glove that cap to the right side, and Marco throws out Arce. 2 gone here in the B5th, and that is now 8 straight set down by 18-year-old Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza. Boy, Tommy has been so good the last month and a half, earning Midwest League Pitcher of the Week honors by virtue of his last 2 outings. Strike 1 called at the knees to Jose Duarte. Tommy Mendoza, in his last 2 outings, 16 innings pitched, has allowed only 1 earned run on just 6 hits in 16 innings, struck out 13, walked 3. That's why he was named Midwest League Pitcher of the Week. Strike 2, a breaking pitch at the knees to Duarte. Jose has 2 of Burlington's 4 hits. 3-2 Kernels were already in the top of the 5th inning, time called by the batter. Pre-game picnic tonight, enjoyed by the Hawkeye Area Council Boy Scouts. Swing and a miss, a tip foul, rather, into the mid of Brett Martinez, as indicated by plate umpire Robert Boyle, and Tommy Mendoza has now stretched his string of consecutive B batters retired to 9 in a row. 9 straight retired by Tommy, who has now 3 strikeouts. Down in order go the Bees for the 2nd straight frame. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Kernels hold a 3-2 edge over Burlington.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with signed contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Brett Martinez batting for the 2nd time in this game from the number 9 position in the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup. Brett lined out to center in the 2nd inning, facing Erik Cordier for the 2nd time. Erik, a line shot by Brett Martinez and a leaping stab at short by Chris McConnell. Brett Martinez could not have hit that first pitch any harder. He drilled it, and it was headed into left center field before 5'9" Chris McConnell leapt high off the ground and with his arm fully extended, robbed Brett Martinez of a leadoff hit, possibly a leadoff double here in the 5th inning. 3-2 Kernels. Brad Kuhn takes a strike called. Unusual to say Brad is 0 for his last 6. That's how consistent he's been. And a breaking ball low. It's 1-1 to the Kernel leadoff batter, who has flown to left and grounded to first. This game is being played very quickly. A change-up, and it's strike 2 call to the left-handed hitting Kernel leadoff batter. Brad wears his Kernel Red Sox up high, dons a pair of white batting gloves, and uses a black lacquer bat. Kuhn hitting .271. The 1-2 pitch is corked foul in the air over the backstop. Brad Kuhn batting with 1 away. Bases empty here in the home half of the 5th inning. Coming up in the 6th inning, your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House in our Spring House Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Brad readies himself for the 2-2. Fastball, and Kuhn fouls this one up into the rafters of the grandstand roof. And that's a lifetime honorary Kernel contract and a free spaghetti dinner for the Kernel fan that retrieved that one. Outfield plays Brad to hit the other way. And he launches it into center, way back. Jose Duarte in front of the warning track is there and has it. Boy, that's about as far as we've seen Brad Kuhn hit one. Brad stroked it high in the air to deep center, straightaway center. Stan Musial used to say, don't hit fly balls in the air to center field. That somebody asked Stan Musial what one of his keys to being a lifetime, I think Stan was a lifetime 342 hitter, something like that. And he said, don't hit the ball in the air to center field. That was Stan's advice. The ball one is low to Josh Davies. Josh has grounded to third and reached on a throwing error by the third baseman, Mario Lasone. Davies, in 10 games, hitting .263, and Josh cranks the 1-0 pitch foul into the outstretched hands of Kernel manager Bobby Magallanes. Bobby finds a young mother with her son here in the premier seats beyond the Burlington third base dugout and tosses it to the mom, and she gives it to the son. 1-1 now to Josh Davies. Swing and a miss on a good changeup from Cordier. The lights have been on here since the outset of the ball game. Josh Davies stays alive by rolling the 2-2 or the 1-2 offering foul just outside third. 325 down the right field line here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, an 8-foot-high green padded wall. It's only 315 down the left field line, but there's a 16-foot-high wall that leads up to the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. There's a bouncer foul knocked down by one of the Kernels in the first base dugout. Josh Davies is having a good at-bat against the 20-year-old right-hander, Erik Cordier. Kernels ahead by a run with the bases empty and 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning, 3-2. Breaking pitch stays inside, and it's 2-2 now to Davies. It's fun to try to figure out what time it is where Josh's folks and sister are listening down in Australia. It's 10 o'clock Friday morning. Swing and a miss. A fastball runs in on the hands of Josh Davies. He strikes out, and that's the first Kernel to whiff in tonight's game. The Kernels go in order for the first time since the first inning. And we go to the 6th inning. Stay tuned. It's your chance coming up in just a moment to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House in our Spring House Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Through 5, it's the Kernels 3, Burlington 2.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path.
Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
The numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters in Burlington's lineup will face right-hander Tommy Mendoza, who has not allowed a base runner since Jose Duarte's base hit with leading off the third inning. Jeremy Jerschley is overpowered by a fastball, and the Wisconsin Oshkosh product swings and misses. Jerschley's 23 years old, right-handed batter, playing left field tonight. Hitting 182 on the year, no homers, 13 runs driven in for Jeremy Jerschley. Tommy's fastball is taken high, 1-1. There's ball 2 just inside. 400 feet to dead center here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and swatting one into deep right center is Jeremy Jerschley. Racing back to make the play in front of the warning track is Brad Kuhn. Boy, Jeremy Jerschley put good wood on it. He sent it high and deep into right center. Gerald Turner, my good friend from the Kansas City Royals, really flattered me on the elevator earlier this afternoon. He goes, "Okay, John, who are a couple of guys you like on your ball club?" And that's awfully nice for a scout to even ask the opinion of an untrained eye. Sure, I've been the voice of the Kernels 11 years, but I can't hold a candle to the knowledge and the experience of the scouts that come through our great city of 5 seasons. But it was very nice of Gerald Turner to ask me, and I said, "Gerald, keep your eye on Brad Kuhn. He does a lot of things well. He does a lot of things very, very well." Here's a high fly ball into right. Jordan Renz misjudged it, now has to race back. And on the edge of the warning track, Jordan Renz lassos in the deep drive off the bat of Mario Lasone. Mario Lasone drove Jordan Renz to the base of the warning track, the edge of the warning track in right. And that is now 11 in a row set down by Tommy Mendoza. Gerald was asking me about position players, and I said, well, in addition to Brad Kuhn catching my eye with his consistency, with his approach at the plate, with his speed, with his ability to steal bases, with his defensive strengths going and getting the ball, I said the other position player, Gerald, that I think you really ought to keep your eye on is Heinle Stacia. Heinle's not in the Colonel lineup tonight. A ground ball foul past third. Terrific effort by Dallas Morris to backhand that one. Heinle Stacia makes so many good plays. And the Angels really like Heinle because of his baseball instinct. And good scouts like Gerald Turner will tell you that you really can't coach baseball instinct into a young player. That's something that he has to kind of have in him. The 0-2 to Vega. Swing and a miss! Swing and a miss! Miguel Vega chased a fastball over his head. That's been one of his susceptible weaknesses in this series. He can't lay off that high fastball. Tommy Mendoza has now retired 12 straight Burlington batters. That inning went so fast, we didn't even have a chance to give you our Springhouse trivia question. Plus, I was busy talking about being so flattered, being asked by Royal Scout Gerald Turner some of my thoughts about the strengths of the Colonel position players, and I was really, really floored that a scout with Gerald's knowledge and experience would even want to know my opinion, but Gerald, I really appreciated that. We'll have the Springhouse trivia question for you in the Kernels 6th inning. After 5.5, it's still the Kernels 3 and the Bees 2.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town of Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Larry Infante lays off a changeup from right-hander Erik Cordier low, and now Larry tries to hit one out of the ballpark. Can't catch up with high heat from the B right-hander. 1-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's 3-2 Kernels. Larry Infante taps the 1-1 pitch foul toward the Kernel dugout. Larry is bounced to second and hit into a 4-6-3 double play. This evening, I'm going to describe to you the fresh tossed salads at the Springhouse. They have a ham chef salad, a turkey chef salad, a taco salad, and a delicious grilled chicken strip salad at the Springhouse. They're each just $5.20, and I know how many of you like to eat a fresh salad during the summer. You find no better salads than at the Springhouse. A 2-2 pitch to Larry Infante, and Larry cranks it on one hop hard to the second baseman, Valentino Arce, for the first out here in the Kernels 6th inning, 3-2 Kernels. That is now 6 straight retired by Erik Cordier. 6 in a row retired by the B right-hander. We're going to wait and see. Yes, we should be fine. We had a preliminary call to our booth about the Springhouse trivia question, but we haven't given you the question yet. If you've been among the 42 winners of a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, please don't call in this evening, but play along wherever you're tuned in. Strike one call to Brett Martinez. Now a fastball low and away in the dirt, not to Brett Martinez, to Flint Whipke, who has reached on an air and walked. Flint Whipke batting with 1 out. The last Kernel hit in this game came away back in the 2nd inning. That's right, our last hit came in the 2nd inning. A broken bat roller, foul, backhanded behind third by Mario Lasone, and Flint Whipke broke his bat. He's in the hole 1-2. We'll give you the phone number to call, and then I'll give you the Springhouse trivia question. Please wait until the Kernels complete their inning here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You'll be calling 896-7589. 896-7589 is the number you will be calling for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. And I'll give you the question after this 1-2 delivery to Flint Whipke. Curve, and it's rolled to shallow short. McConnell has it. Chris's throw is good, and there are now 2 gone in the Kernel 6th inning. 7 straight retired by Burlington's Erik Cordier. Here's our Springhouse trivia question. Name the brothers who were selected as pitchers, one for the National League and the other for the American League, in the 1970 All-Star Game. Name the brothers who were selected as pitchers, one for the National League and the other for the American League, in the 1970 All-Star Game. And you'll be calling at the end of this Kernel 6th inning, 896-7589, 896-7589. Swing and a miss on a curve by Jordan Renz, and now a fastball low. Jordan is doubled and scored and grounded out to short. 2 gone in the Colonel's 6th inning. Cordier fires low and away for ball 2 to Jordan. Our Springhouse trivia question: name the brothers who were selected as pitchers, one for the National League and the other for the American League, in the 1970 All-Star Game. 1970 All-Star Game. Now the catcher, Jeff Howell, walks up the dirt path carved between the plate and the mound to talk it over with Erik Cordier. Howell is wearing royal blue shin guards, a royal blue chest protector. Jeff Howell, the B catcher, examines his mitt before squatting down and hanging the sign for Erik Cordier. 2-1 to Jordan Renz. Fastball, and Jordan pulls it foul into the railing of the B third base dugout. Our Springhouse trivia question: name the brothers who were selected as pitchers, one for the NL, the other for the AL, in the 1970 All-Star Game. The 2-2 to Jordan. And Renz has to jackknife out of the way of a pitch down and in, and that's ball 3. A full count to Jordan Renz. With the bases empty and 2 away, bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2 Kernels. Here's a drive into left center for an extra base hit, I think. It's cut off by Jersley. Renz will try for 2. Jordan is safe. Jordan is safe with his second double of the game. That's the first Kernel hit since the 2nd inning. Jordan Renz powered a 3-2 pitch hard into left center, cut off by Jeremy Jersley, and Renz slid in safely. Jordan now has his second double of the game, his 19th of the year. Jordan was my kind of pick to click in this game. I just looked at Erik Cordier's strengths, and one of them is a very live fastball. And I know what Jordan Renz's strength is. It's hammering a fastball, and Jordan just did that. He's in scoring position for Marco Albano. Marco takes inside, ball 1. So Jordan Renz has the 4th Kernel hit of this game, our first since the 3-run 2nd inning. The 1-0 to Marco Albano. Time is called. Boy, our equipment manager, Ron Pline, is going to have his hands full. Well, no, he won't. Rhodey doesn't do the whites on a 2 a.m. departure. I was going to say he'll have to use some of his magic bleach to clean Jordan Renz's white home uniform. Jordan looks like Pigpen out there. Ball 2 is low to Marco Albano. The Bees have a right-hander up in their bullpen. I'm sure Erik Cordier, who has pitched a very fine ball game, is on a strict pitch count. Now here comes Steve Luber, the pitching coach for the Bees, marching out to the hill. So he's seen something in Cordier's mechanics or approach that he wants to try to correct or advise him on. We're standing by. We will be after this Kernel 6th inning to take your phone calls for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We're asking you to name the brothers who were selected as pitchers, one for the National League and the other for the American League, in the 1970 All-Star Game. We'll be taking your calls at the end of this Kernel 6th inning at 896-7589. 896-7589. Renz at second. Marco Albano ahead 2-0. Marco is driven in a run and reached on an error. Marco batting .218, taking all the way, looks at a strike at the knees. Albano, a right-handed batter. Out of Boston College. The 2-1 from Cordier. Over but low, ball 3. Bob Brooks on Brooks at Bat last night on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show asked Marco if he had any teeth missing from his hockey playing days in the Boston area, and Marco said no, but several of his front teeth were chipped. A bouncer to second. That should end the inning. Arce gloves it and throws on to first. Marco Albano has bounced out to second to end the Kernel 6th inning. No runs for the Kernels in the 6th. A 2-out double by Renz, his second of the night. There were no B errors, and the Kernels leave one man aboard and have stranded 3. We're taking your calls now at 896-7589, 896-7589 for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Spring House. After 6, still the Kernels 3, the Bees 2.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team, Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
We haven't had any scoring in this game since the top of the third inning, when the Bees plated one run against Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza to cut the Colonel lead of 3-1 to 3-2. It's still 3-2 as we go to the top of the seventh inning. Tommy Mendoza working on a string of 12 straight batters that he's retired. We have a winner in our Springhouse Trivia question, Rick Teese, T-H-I-E-S, Rick Teese of 4th Street in Marion. Congratulations, Rick. I'll repeat the question from the Springhouse and share the answers that you called us with to earn your $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. Strike one called on the inside corner from Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza. Tommy, a 7-2 winner here Saturday night against Dayton, has pitched another dynamite ball game so far tonight. He misses low with a changeup to Jeff Howell, the man who led off the second inning for the Bees with a home run over the left field wall. Ground ball, base hit up the middle. That one was hit sharply through the middle, and Jeff Howell has the 5th Bee hit of the night, and the tying runs at first with nobody out here in Burlington's 7th inning. Jeff Howell smacked that one sharply right over the rubber, and it almost hit second base as Brad Kuhn retrieves it in center. Our Springhouse Trivia question asked you to name the brothers who were selected as pitchers, one for the National League, the other for the American League, in the 1970 All-Star Game. Rick Teese did it. Gaylord Perry of the Giants represented the National League. Jim Perry, his brother, a Minnesota Twin, was an American League selection. Congratulations, Rick Teese, T-H-I-E-S, from Marion. You'll enjoy, Rick, a $5 gift certificate at the Springhouse Family Restaurant. The winner of our Springhouse Trivia question, Rick Teese of Marion. A throw to first, and Jeff Howell scrambles back in hand first. These Bees are a running ball club, the only team that has stolen more bases than Burlington in the Midwest Circuit, the Kernels. Arroyo tries to bunt, and he missed, strike two. Carlos Arroyo has had a couple of very poor bunt attempts at Tommy Mendoza offerings. Nothing in two to the left-handed batter Arroyo, who is grounded out twice to Colonel first baseman Mark Trumbo, who's holding Jeff Howell. Arroyo bunts. This one's a dandy, gloved by Dallas Morris, who throws to Trumbo for the out. Good sacrifice by Carlos Arroyo, who looked very poor trying to bunt Tommy's first two pitches. An 0-2 pitch bunted down the third base, or up the third base line by the left-handed batter. It was gloved by Dallas Morris, who threw on to the first baseman Trumbo, And the sacrifice by Carlos Arroyo is a good one. The Bees now have the tying run at second with one out. Nothing doing in the Kernel bullpen. There shouldn't be as strong a game as Tommy Mendoza has twirled. The Kernels will go down the line with Tommy. Brady Everett lined out to left his last time up. He's 0 for 2. The right-hander in Burlington's bullpen is Giovanni D'Amico. Giovanni D'Amico is warming up for Burlington in their bullpen. The 1-0. Steve, right call. Tommy brought a fastball in at the knees to even the count. To right-handed hitting, Brady Everett out of Washington State. Tying run at second for the Bees. And a breaking pitch high and in. That's an indication of a bit of fatigue setting in for the 18-year-old Kernel right-hander. When you leave that breaking pitch up and in. Well, now Everett will be dialed in for a fastball, a 2-1 delivery. Instead of throw to second and diving back hand first is the tying run, Jeff Howell. 3-2 Kernels, top of the 7th inning. A fastball is lifted foul off to the left side, out of play, and it's a 2-2 count now. Giovanni D'Amico warming up in the B bullpen. He's 1-0 against the Kernels. His only win of the season. D'Amico may take over in the bottom of the 7th inning for Erik Cordier. Tommy Mendoza comes set, below the chin, the 2-2. Ooh, it just missed high, and Tommy peers in at the plate umpire for just a moment. That curveball was good enough to be called strike 3, but it was a little bit upstairs, and now the count full. Perhaps the game's biggest pitch is about to be headed home from Tommy. Ground ball to first. Trumbo has it, and Trumbo makes the play himself for the second out of the inning. Big second out as Brady Everett stroked that 3-2 pitch off the end of the bat and bounces out to first. 2 gone here in the B's 7th inning. That was some pitching by Tommy Mendoza. I wonder what a scout like Gerald Turner would say about who has the advantage on a 3-2 pitch. I think the batter has the advantage, but I'd love to know what a seasoned scout would say. Strike 1 called to Chris McConnell. The pitcher has to throw a strike to prevent a walk, so I would think the batter has the advantage on a 3-2 delivery. The 0-1 to McConnell. High, a fastball. Chris tried to hold up. He did, according to the base umpire, Matt Schaufert. Chris McConnell has singled and flown to center. He's a 175 hitter with 1 homer, 18 RBIs. McConnell, a 20-year-old right-handed batter from New Jersey. Looks at a big bender. Strike 2 called. Tommy Mendoza with his best curveball of the night spun it in at the knees, and he's ahead of McConnell, 1-2. Tying run at third. 2 out. Burlington batting, top of the 7th inning. 3-2 Kernels. Chris McConnell on the 1-2 delivery. Bounces it up the middle, and it's fielded by Infante. The throw to first in time! Tommy Mendoza gets Chris McConnell to bounce out to shortstop Larry Infante, who had to move quickly to his left. Glove it near the base at second, on to first, and Tommy Mendoza has now pitched 7 very strong innings. The Bees had the tying run at second with only 1 out. Tommy Mendoza kept the ball on the infield and prevented Burlington from tying the game. No runs for the Bees in the 7th. 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors. Burlington leaves a runner aboard. They've stranded 3. Let's keep it here for just a moment. Lindale Dental Care brings us the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game and the 7th inning stretch. We go to the home half of the 7th. It's still the Kernels 3 and the Bees 2.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
Mark Trumbo will be the first up against a new B pitcher, Giovanni D'Amico. He's pitching in relief for the 19th time, a 1-4 record. His one win came against us. D'Amico's ERA is good, 2.59. He has a save. He works from the stretch, and his first pitch to Trumbo. Mark takes it at the knees, a strike, a fastball. Giovanni D'Amico is from Venezuela, 5'11", 225. He's a 21-year-old who pitched in Burlington last year in 35 games. His next delivery is hammered into left center, 4 extra bases. Mark Trumbo's racing around first. It's all the way to the 378 mark, retrieved at the base of the wall by Duarte in center, the center fielder rather, and Mark Trumbo has his second double of the game. Mark Trumbo has ripped a leadoff double into the left center field alley, and the Kernels have a great chance now to try to score for the first time since our 3-run third inning. Dallas Morris is the batter. Mark Trumbo at second, nobody out. 3-2 Kernels. The final line on starter Erik Cordier. He went 6 innings, allowed only 3 runs, 2 of them earned on just 4 hits. Cordier struck out 1, walked 1. Is Dallas Morris bunting? Time is called as Giovanni D'Amico delivers home anyway. D'Amico, in 41 and 2/3 innings pitched out of the B bullpen this year, has allowed only 37 hits in 41 and 2/3, struck out 39 in 41 and 2/3, walked only 11. The first pitch to Morris, swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, chased by Carlos Arroyo, but it's out of play. Strike 1 to Dallas. It's 3-2 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the Kernels are trying to strike for their first run or runs since our 3-run second inning. Dallas Morris, an RBI single back in the first inning, or back in the second inning. It was the 3-run second inning by the Kernels. I'll get my numbers squared away. The 0-1 to Morris. Ground ball! Backhand stop by Vega. He beats Morris to the base, but what a great piece of hitting by Dallas Morris. Dallas Morris advances Trumbo to third, and that is the Bill Stoneman, Mike Scioscia, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim way of playing baseball. Dallas Morris was bound and determined to get Trumbo to third, and he did as he hit a 2-hop shot to the right of Miguel Vega. Vega made an outstanding backhanded stop and then jumped to his feet to beat Dallas Morris to first, and the Kernels, thanks to Dallas Morris, have a runner at third with only 1 out. Man, that's great fundamental baseball. Mike Scioscia is due to be here at our ballpark on August 7th. The highly respected field general of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim has had it on his schedule since the winter meetings to be right here on August 7th. It's not official. Nothing can be official when you're the manager of a big league team, but all indications are that Mike will try to be here. Infield in for the play at the plate. The first pitch to Brett Martinez, one of last night's Colonel stalwarts. Instead, Giovanni D'Amico steps off the rubber. But with if Mike Scioscia had been here moments ago, he would have remembered what great hitting, situational hitting Dallas Morris just provided. Ooh, a pitch out as the Bees smelled a squeeze. Ball one to Brett Martinez. Brett is lined to center and lined to short. Brett Martinez trying to produce at least a fly ball with the Bee infield in that would drive home Mark Trumbo and give the Kernels a 4-2 lead. Look out! The pitch nipped Brett Martinez, and he's hit by the pitch. It's first and third. Brett Martinez did everything he could to get out of the way of that pitch. Spun backwards, but the ball glanced him. The ball nipped Brett Martinez, the pitch did, from Giovanni D'Amico. And now I've got a real good feeling about our prospects with Brad Kuhn, 0-for-3 tonight, standing in against D'Amico. Here comes Jim Gabella. Jim Gabella may make a pitching change. Gabella is marching to the mound, and I think he's going to bring in a left-hander, Eliezer Garcia. Yes, he is. Jim Gabella knows the game's on the line right now here in the bottom of the seventh inning, so Jim Gabella is going to make a pitching change. Giovanni D'Amico goes 1/3 of an inning. So far has allowed no runs on one hit. He struck out none, he walked none, and he hit a batter. Eliezer Garcia, who pitched earlier in this series, a lefty, has been called into this game to face Colonel left-handed batting leadoff man Brad Kuhn. Eliezer Garcia was roughed up here in the Colonel 13-5 rout of the Bees on the 4th of July. Eliezer did not did not officially register an inning. He allowed 3 runs on 2 hits, struck out none, walked 2. Eliezer Garcia, a 22-year-old Venezuelan right-hander, or left-hander rather, takes over for the Bees here in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Colonels knocking on the door, trying to score for the first time since the 2nd inning. I've pulled my laptop computer onto my lap. That's what it's for, after all. And wait a minute, somebody booby-trapped this thing. I think I know what happened. We've had several visitors throughout the evening, and somehow, here we go, I just kept hitting back. And as I browsed the State Farm Major League scoreboard, there are no finals yet. This afternoon, however, on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, no finals tonight. At RFK Stadium, the Nationals, in 11 innings, clipped the Marlins 8-7. And as time permits, we'll give you a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Boy, that's neat. I finally discovered why they call it a laptop. You can put it right in your lap. I've seen that in airports, but I didn't know it would work in a broadcast booth. Eliezer Garcia, a lefty, to face Brad Kuhn. I would estimate we have a crowd of nearly 2,600 here tonight, maybe 2,800. And they're ready to jump if Brad Kuhn can come through. Ball one, high and outside from the Bee southpaw, who's wearing a long sleeve royal blue shirt underneath his gray Burlington road top. Trumbo at third, Martinez at first, the 1-0 to Brad. High, ball 2 to Brad Kuhn. The Kernels have one series sweep this season. We went up to Fox City Stadium in mid-April and swept the 3-game series with the Timber Rattlers. Could this be our second series sweep of the season? Ball 3 high from Garcia. Eliezer, as I described in the game on the 4th of July here 2 nights ago, has a very difficult, or he kicks his leg up, his front leg, in a very disconcerting way to the batter. Ball 4! Brad Kuhn walks to load the bases. They're loaded up. That's the last thing Jim Gabella wanted, was Eliza Garcia to walk the left-handed batter, Brad Kuhn. But that's exactly what Eliza Garcia did. He walks the bases loaded. And here comes Jim Gabella. There's steam coming out of his ears. You can see the steam emanating from the Burlington manager's ears. I think he's going to make another pitching change with the Kernels leading 3-2. Here in the bottom of the seventh, the bases are loaded, and we are going to have a pitching change. That'll give us a chance to check scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Gary Shubat. They're in the bottom of the ninth inning at Jacobs Field. The Yankees are pounding Cleveland 10-4. Bottom of the eighth inning at Tropicana Field, the Red Sox ahead of the Devil Rays 6-5. The White Sox are hosting the Orioles at U.S. Cellular Field, and the White Sox are leading the Orioles 7-3 in the bottom of the fifth inning. At Kauffman Stadium, the Royals are basting the Blue Jays 6-0. That's in the top of the sixth inning. Later tonight, our parent club in a critical showdown with the Oakland A's. Oakland's 44-40. The Angels, our parent club, are 40-44. That game will be at the Coliseum later tonight. In the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, again, the final from this afternoon, the Nationals in 11 innings edged Florida 8-7 at RFK Stadium. The Phillies trail at home to the Padres. It's 5-3 San Diego in the top of the eighth at Citizens Bank Ballpark. The Mets at Shea Stadium in the top of the eighth lead the Pirates 7-3. It's the Reds trailing the Braves 6-2 at Turner Field. That's in the top of the eighth. The Cubs in Milwaukee are playing at Miller Park tonight, and the Brewers lead the Cubs 2-0. That's in the top of the seventh. At Minute Maid Park, the Cardinals trail Houston 3-2 in the top of the sixth inning, and another classic rivalry later tonight. It's the Giants playing the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. That complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Gary Shubat, Brad Dunn, and Dale Thompson. Chris Hayes, a submarining right-hander who was mauled by the Kernels here in the 13-5 win on Tuesday night, has been brought in to face Josh Davies. Hayes delivers from the land down under. He's a submariner, and he's pitching to 20-year-old Colonel Australian Josh Davies. Ball one low from submarining Chris Hayes. Chris Hayes is now pitching for Burlington, the submariner on for the 25th time. Bases loaded, one out, and look out, a shot foul into the Dick Ramsey advertising panel that graces the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. 1-1 to Josh Davies. Chris Hayes is 1-2, lost 3, has 4 saves, an ERA of 2.43. The right-hander pitched an independent league ball last year. Davies fouls the submarine delivery straight back. It's 1-2 to Josh Davies. 3-2 Kernels, bottom of the eighth inning. Trumbo at third. Martinez at second. Brad Kuhn at first. Josh Davies in the hole, 1-2. Takes just low and in, ball 2 from Chris Hayes. The submariner is allowed only 34 hits in 40 2/3 innings, struck out 32, walked only 9. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Josh Davies fans a huge strikeout for the submariner, Chris Hayes. And now the pitching coach for the Bees marches to the mound. Chris Hayes, I said, had his difficulties here on, well, it was Monday in the series opener, Monday afternoon. Hayes went 1 inning. The Kernels scored 4 runs on 5 hits against Chris Hayes. He struck out 1, walked 1. He just had a big strikeout of Josh Davies. The bases are still loaded. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the key man now is Larry Infante. Steve Luber, a long talk. The Burlington pitching coach, Steve Luber, having a long talk with Chris Hayes. Ordinarily, a left-handed batter like Infante has a marked advantage over a right-handed batter. because the left-handed batter Infante can see that submarine pitch very clearly coming from the right side of the infield. Now, you know Larry, he loves to swing early in the count. A fastball whizzes high and inside. Ball 1 to Larry Infante. Oh, if Larry can come up with a big hit now, it would really bring this big crowd up to their feet. Larry swung at a pitch right in on his hands, and he pops it foul onto the first base grandstand roof. That was ball 2, but Larry is such an aggressive hitter that he thought that was one he could tomahawk. Bases loaded. 2 away. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Kernels. The Submariners 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Larry Infante. Boy, Chris Hayes looks like a totally different pitcher tonight than he did Monday afternoon when the Kernels shelled him. Now Larry Infante is in the hole 1-2 with the bases loaded. Trumbo at third, Brett Martinez at second, and Kuhn at first. And a pop fly into shallow right. Coming on is the right fielder, and he makes the catch in shallow right to end the inning. Well, the Bees have turned back a monumental scoring threat squandered by the Kernels. A leadoff double by Trumbo. He was advanced to third on a ground ball out by Dallas Morris. Brett Martinez was hit by a pitch. Kuhn walked. Moments ago, we had the bases loaded with only 1 out, but submarining right-hander Chris Hayes struck out Josh Davies and gets Larry Infante to fly out into shallow right. No runs in the 7th for the Kernels. 1 hit. No B errors, and the Kernels leave the bases loaded and have stranded 6. We go to the top of the 8th inning, the Kernels clinging to a 3-2 lead over the Bees.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center reminds you that now summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants, and Peck's has the finest quality flowers and plants for indoors or outdoors, plus all the free expert advice you'll need to make your flowers and plants grow their very best. Peck's is located at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast, and they've been serving the eastern Iowa community for 50 years. Peck's is your professional and award-winning FTD and Teleflora florist. They're also your certified year-round garden center, your nursery and landscape headquarters, and of course, as we said, your plant and flower mecca. Family-owned, Peck's Flower and Garden Shop open until 8 o'clock on weeknights and until 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. Visit Peck's. Strike 1 at the knees to Valentino Arce as Tommy Mendoza has protected a 1-run lead for what seems an eternity. Arce now bashes the next pitch foul off the railing to the B third base dugout. Heinley Statia's in civilian clothes. No, that's not Heinley Statia. Excuse me. I thought I saw Heinley Statia down below. Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey, would you agree that fellow looked a little bit like Statia, his build and his hair? But it's a Burlington pitcher. Sorry for the false alarm. The 0-2 to Arce is high for a ball. The Kernels have right-hander Tim Madison up and throwing in our right field bullpen. 3-2 Kernels. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The 1-2 is a change up in the dirt, and did the batter go around? No, says the base umpire, Matt Schaufert. A check swing on a pitch in the dirt from Tommy Mendoza to Valentino Arce. Arce is nothing for 2 tonight, is grounded to short, bounced to second. Ooh, a fastball dips low, and it's ball 3 to the number 9 hitter, Valentino Arce. Tim Madison up and throwing in the Colonel right field bullpen. Yet another big pitch from 18-year-old Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza headed home. And a pop-up on the left side of the infield. Who wants it? Dallas Morris at third makes the catch. Dallas Morris. at deep third base, caught the 3-2 pitch popped up by Valentino Arce. And Nelson Mendoza, you quit dragging on those cigarettes now down in Hialeah, Florida. You told us when you were here last time that when Tommy pitched in high school, you went through 2 packs of cigarettes out of sheer nervousness. Nelson, that good wife of your Angelinos, you call her Cookie. She knows that you're hanging on every pitch, and you can be very proud, no matter what the outcome tonight, of the tremendous performance by your son, Tommy. A curve high to Duarte, and now a changeup inside. 2-0 to Jose Duarte. Singled his first 2 times up in this game, and then struck out in the 5th inning. 3-2 Kernels, top of the 8th, to 2-0 to Jose. He's taking all the way. A fastball. Strike called. Letter high, inside corner. Ooh, the Kernels had the Bees on the ropes in the bottom of the 7th, but couldn't deliver a knockout blow. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. Duarte spun around and was leaving the batter's box. He wasn't going to swing at that 2-1 pitch for anything. Tommy was behind 2-0. Now the count even, and the plate umpire grants the B leadoff batter, Jose Duarte, time. Last night's game and tonight's game, typical of the low-scoring, close games we've had with Burlington. There's a fastball! Swing and a miss! Jose Duarte fans! 2 out here in the B8th inning. Oh, Tommy Mendoza has been absolutely awe-inspiring tonight. Tommy Mendoza has been brilliant tonight. He fans Jose Duarte after falling behind him 2-0. 2 gone here in the B8th inning. The batter, Jeremy Jersley. Strike 1 called. Tommy Mendoza looks like a thoroughbred out there. He's been pitching with confidence, working quickly, and his 0-1 pitch to Jersley is upstairs for a ball. Tommy wearing his Colonel Red Sox up high. Tommy has jet black hair, and he has a short red shirt underneath his white Colonel Home uniform top, and a fastball. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey putting it much more simplistically, Tommy Mendoza's doing great. Yes, he is. He deserves all of that praise. Ball 2 upstairs, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, according to the Bank Iowa speed pitch indicator, the lower panel of the scoreboard in right center. Jersley on a 2-2 pitch. Takes it high and inside, ball 3. Now yet another pivotal pitch coming up in this ball game. From the 18-year-old Colonel, right-hander Tommy Mendoza, to right-handed hitting Jeremy Jersley. Ball 4, and that walk is just, can you believe it, the first of the night. A 2-out walk to Jeremy Jersley, the first issued by Tommy. And let's see, here comes Bobby Magallanes. If the Colonels lift Tommy Mendoza, I'll bring up the crowd mic just a tad, and you'll hear the tremendous ovation that this crowd will give Tommy if this is going to be his last batter. Tim Madison is ready to go in the Colonel bullpen. Bobby Magallanes has called his entire infield together, and we're going to have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Listen to the hand. Sonia Massey both have massive goosebumps in our arms. Massive goosebumps. That is just literally a hair-raising experience to see the crowd respond to Tommy Mendoza as he's lifted here in the top of the 8th inning. This call to the Colonel bullpen, sponsored by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Tommy Mendoza. Absolutely spectacular pitching here tonight. The 18-year-old right-hander goes 7 2/3. So far, he's allowed only 2 runs on just 5 hits. Tommy struck out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and walked only one. It was a 2-out walk moments ago to Jeremy Jerschley that prompted Colonel skipper Bobby Magallanes to lift Tommy Mendoza. Well, Nelson Mendoza, Angelinos Mendoza down in Miami, you can rest assured that Tommy did it again. Pitched his heart out, competed, pitched with confidence, and was just tremendous. We also want to say hello to Nick Hernandez. Nick Hernandez listens faithfully to our games. Nick is the brother of big league umpire Angel Hernandez down in Miami. It's just past 9 o'clock, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. Tim Madison on for the 26th time out of the Colonel bullpen. Tim has a 2-5 one-loss record, a 4.20 ERA. Tim Madison will now face Mario Lasone with the tying run at first, 2 out. Lasone takes a breaking pitch for strike one called from Tim Madison. Tim last pitched Thursday, a week ago, the 29th of June. The 0-1. Fastball grounded up the middle. There's Infante throwing to first. In time! Larry Infante had to go back behind second, and from shallow center field, Larry had enough on his sidearm peg to get Mario Lasone and end the inning. Mario Lasone grounded one past the middle, past the mound up the middle. Larry Infante went behind second and then threw off balance and got the speedster Mario Lasone, and the Kernels escaped this 8th inning, and the Bees have not scored since the 3rd. The Kernels haven't scored since the 2nd. No runs for Burlington in the 8th. No hits. No Colonel errors. The Bees leave one man aboard, their 4th stranded of the evening. We go to the home half of the 8th inning, and it's the Colonels still leading Burlington 3-2. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with it?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
Submariner Chris Hayes got out of a big jam. The Colonels loaded the bases with only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, and Hayes struck out Josh Davies and got Larry Infante to pop out to shallow right. It will be Hayes to face Flint Whipkey here in the bottom of the 8th inning. What a big out recorded by Tim Madison as he got Mario Lasone with the tying run at first and 2 out in relief of Tommy Mendoza. Madison got Lasone to ground one up the middle. Larry Infante made a sparkling play to his left and threw out Lasone. Now the Colonels are in desperate search of an insurance run or two as Chris Hayes submarines in a fastball, a strike to Flint Whipkey. 3-2 Colonels. We haven't had any runs in this game since the Bees made it a 1-run game with a single tally off the departed Colonel starter, Tommy Mendoza, away back in the 3rd inning. All 3 of the Colonel runs off Bee starter Erik Cordier came in the 2nd inning. Ball 1 high to Whipkey. Now Flint lays off a pitch down and in for ball 2. Well, when you think of submariners, here are the names that come to mind. Kent DeColvey, Dan Quisenberry, Ted Abernathy, the 2-1. Spanked foul into the screen for strike 2. And I'm sure there's more great submariners that I haven't even thought of, but those are the main ones. Gene Garber was almost a submariner. He's the fellow that ended Pete Rose's 44-game hitting streak. Gene Garber could be considered a submariner. Flint takes a change-up low, 67 miles an hour, and the count full now to Flint Whipkey. 3-2 Colonels, bottom of the 8th inning, yet another cliffhanger here at the ballpark. A broken bat bouncer to shallow short. McConnell charges, throws high, but out. And Flint Whipkey broke his bat. The Colonel equipment manager is dashing it between the mound and second to retrieve it, and there's one away here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-2 Kernels. It's all aboard the Tri-State Travel Coach, the Tri-State Travel Motor Coach Choo-Choo at 2 a.m. this morning. And the Kernels would sure love to try and get another run here in the 8th inning. Renz falls in the hole, 0-2 as Jordan was jammed by a pitch. Strike 2 to Jordan, who has 2 doubles in 3 trips tonight. The hits are even at 5 apiece, and the Kernels are ahead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Look out, Jordan Renz wraps one foul off his fist down the right field line. We're going to confirm that it's Ryan Aldridge warming up in the bullpen for the Kernels. Yes, it is. Ryan allowed the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th inning last night before the Kernels rallied and scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Jordan is handcuffed on a pitch down and in, and Jordan Renz strikes out. That's 4 in a row, set down by right-hander Chris Hayes. Colonel Public Address Announcer Dale Brote remarked to me after Chris Hayes was roughed up here on Monday night that Hayes didn't have that much velocity. Well, he doesn't, and that's what makes him so highly effective. He kept the ball up in the zone here on Monday afternoon, and that's why the Kernels hammered him. Ball 2 inside to Marco Albano. You just don't see this type of delivery very often. I'm surprised more young, budding pitching prospects don't try to become submariners or knuckleballers. But I know the answer to it. It's very difficult to learn both of those pitches. A 3-0 pitch and a strike called to Marco Albano. Marco batting with 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-2 Kernels. And another foul towards the Colonel first base dugout. It's a full count now to Marco Albano. Marco, a .218 batter, no homers, 13 RBIs. The payoff pitch, grounded foul off the railing of the Colonel first base dugout. Marco Albano is doing exactly what a right-handed batter is supposed to try to do against a submariner. That is taking the other way. Ball 4 to Marco, and you know how often a 2-out walk is the start of something good. Chris Hayes has walked Marco Albano with 2 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and that brings in Mark Trumbo. Mark has had a great night, both at the plate and in the field. Trumbo, an RBI double back in the Colonel 3-run second inning, then doubled leading off the 7th inning, but was stranded. First pitch to Mark Trumbo from Chris Hayes, and that one is doinked foul off the plate for strike 1. Ryan Aldridge was the winner here last night, although Ryan gave up a run in the top of the 9th to Burlington on 1 hit, and he's likely to take over in this game in the top of the 9th. Can the Kernels add to their narrow 1-run lead? 2 out, Marco Albano at first. He draws a throw and gets back. A long look from the stretch position by submarining right-hander Chris Hayes. He throws to first and the runner back. It's always interesting to see how a submariner throws to first base. And in this case, Chris Hayes does not use his submarine delivery to first base. He throws 3/4 or almost overhand. 3-2 Kernels here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 out, Albano at first. Trumbo takes a breaking pitch for strike 2. boy, you look at these submariners and you want to grab a bat and say, I can hit that guy. He can't break a pane of glass with his delivery. Well, that's why he's so effective. The 0-2 to Mark. Here it is. Swing and a tip foul. That one struck the catcher in the solar plexus, and he's lost some wind. Boy, that'll take the wind out of you when you get a foul tip in the stomach like Jeff Howell just got. We'll also be looking forward to bringing you our attendance. That's sponsored by Ahern Plumbing and Heating. We'll have that for you in the top of the 9th inning. Here in the bottom of the 8th, it's 3-2 Kernels. The 0-2, the Colonel first baseman, instead of throw to first, and Albano, skips back, standing up. Outfield plays Mark Trumbo straight away. Hits even at 5 apiece. The difference in the game right now, a Burlington error back in the 2nd inning. Ooh, a floater just missed low, ball 1 to Trumbo. And don't get me wrong, I couldn't hit a 69-mile-an-hour changeup from a submariner with a telephone pole, but it would be fun to try. Marco's running, a pitch a ball inside, the throw to second in time. The shortstop, Chris McConnell, put the tag on the sliding Marco Albano, and the caught stealing goes 2-6. In the 8th, no runs for the Kernels, no hits, no BRs, nobody left for the Kernels. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Ryan Aldridge will come on to try to save it for Tommy Mendoza after 8. Kernels 3, Bees 2.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communications.
CUNA Communications Triple Play. Voice, video, and data. With South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Ryan Aldridge comes on to try to save it for Tommy Mendoza. Ryan is 2-3. He's pitching out of the Colonel bullpen for the team-high 34th time this year. Aldridge has 15 saves, a 3.35 ERA. Ryan, in 37 2/3 relief innings this year, has only surrendered 27 hits in 37 2/3. Struck out a phenomenal 56 batters in 37 2/3. Walked 16. Colonel right-hander, 22-year-old Ryan Aldridge out of Middle Georgia College, an Angels 17th-round pick in 2004, is on answering this U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Tim Madison pitched a third of an inning and got the final out in the B8th inning. Ryan Aldridge will have to face the cleanup batter, Miguel Vega, to start this B9th inning. Now, Vega has been highly susceptible to swinging at fastballs above his chin in this series. Ryan Aldridge working from the full windup. And his fastball is popped foul over the grandstand roof behind home plate. 2,708. 2,708 here on this gorgeous Thursday night, Thirsty Thursday. And we thank all of you Colonel fans that have made this homestand so enjoyable and memorable by coming out. Breaking pitch, strike 2 at the knees to Miguel Vega. Ryan Aldridge gets ahead of Vega, 0-2 here in the top of the 9th inning, 3-2 Kernels. Ryan brings the 0-2 home. A high fastball, tomahawk to short. Larry Infante takes his time, on to first for the out. An 0-2 pitch, a high fastball, Vega bit, and he grounded it. He tomahawked it to short. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Let's give you the numbers on Ryan Aldridge against Burlington this year. This is his 5th appearance. He's 1-0 with a 2.25 ERA, and 2 of his 15 saves have come against Burlington. Ryan Aldridge to Jeff Howell. Strike, 1 called, a slider. Aldridge has pitched 4 innings against the Bees, allowed only 1 run on 1 hit. That was last night, and he struck out 5 in 4 innings. Has walked none. Strike, 2 called, a slider. Ryan Aldridge looks like he's on his game. Aldridge is trying to save it for Tommy Mendoza, who's already 1-0 against Burlington this year. The 0-2 pitch just missed low and away, another slider. Howell has 2 of the B, 5 hits tonight. Kernels lead it 3-2 here in the top of the 9th inning. Ryan Aldridge with the 1-2 pitch. And it's drilled into the right field corner, way back at the wall, and it is it missed being a home run by 6 inches. It's a double for Jeff Howell. Howell missed a game-tying home run down the right field line by 6 inches. By 6 inches. It's Jeff Howell's 3rd hit of the night. Jeff Howell missed tying this game by 6 inches. And Ryan Aldridge has now to face left-handed hitting Carlos Arroyo with the tying run at second and 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Jeff Howell launched one high and deep to right. And it just missed clearing the 325 mark by about 6 inches. Howell at second with the 6th B hit of this game. Carlos Arroyo bounces one up the middle. Infante gets it behind second. On to first for the out. Another tremendous play by Larry Infante. Carlos Arroyo bounced one over the hill. When it got over Aldridge's head, I thought it was a sure base hit. But Larry Infante, who's played very well at short tonight in place of Heinle Stacia, got to it behind second, showed great range, and threw out Carlos Arroyo. 2 out here in the top of the 9th inning, and the Kernels lead it 3-2. Listen to the crowd. Brady Everett at the plate. Strike, 1 called, a slider. Strike, 1 called, a slider. Tying run at 3rd. 2 out. Top of the 9th inning. The Kernels have been out hit 6-5, lead it 3-2. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the right-handed batter. Strike, 2 called on the outside corner. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. It's 0-2 to Brady Everett. 3-2 Kernels. 3-2 Kernels here in the top of the 9th inning. The 0-2 pitch from Ryan. Strike 3 called! Strike 3 called! Strike 3 called! Kernels have swept Burlington, winning tonight 3-2. 3-2 Kernels. Ryan Aldridge struck out. Brady Everett looking. 3 straight strikes from Ryan Aldridge. The Bees lead the tying run at 3rd with 2 out as Aldridge gets Brady Everett looking for the final out. Tommy Mendoza is above 500. Tommy Mendoza is now 6-5, and the Kernels in the second half are 9-6. A phenomenal homestand. The Kernel homestand record 6-2. The Kernel homestand record 6-2. Tommy Mendoza's record 6-5. And the Kernels have won for the 4th straight time, edging out the Bees 3-2 here tonight. 3-2 Kernels, totals, highlights, and more coming your way next on the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You
knowing. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
Oh, another heart thumper here tonight as the Kernels up their homestand record at 6-2. The Kernels split with Dayton to start this homestand, the beginning of the second half, and then have swept the Burlington Bees, winning another cliffhanger, a tight one-run game. Following last night's two-run bottom of the ninth, the Kernels won 4-3. The Kernels hang on and beat the Bees here tonight to complete a sweep of Burlington 3-2. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Stadium, where a jovial crowd on Thursday of 2,708 saw Colonel right-hander Tommy Mendoza pitch yet another fantastic ball game. We were scoreless until Burlington struck for a run in the second. Jeff Howell clubbed his second home run of the series, his fifth of the year, leading off the second to give the Bees a 1-0 lead. Burlington got 6 great innings out of their 20-year-old Royal second-round draft pick of 2004 from Green Bay, Wisconsin, Erik Cordier. Cordier could not hold the 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning, but the Kernels got some help. Chris McConnell on a ground ball to short threw it high over the head of Miguel Vega. It caused Vega to have to leap off the bag. Flint Whipke reached. Jordan Renz then hit what looked to be a double play ball to short, but it took a bad hop, and it went over the head of McConnell into left center, sending Whipke to third and Jordan Renz to second. Marco Albano tied the game with a ground ball out to short. Whipke scored. Renz went to third. Mark Trumbo then clubbed an RBI double over the head of Jeremy Jersley in left, and that plated Renz to make it 2-1 Kernels. Trumbo then scored on a base hit through the middle by Dallas Morris, and the Kernels led Burlington 3-1. The final run of this game was scored in the top of the third inning by Burlington. Jose Duarte singled to right field and then advanced to third on a wild pickoff attempt by Brett Martinez that went to the foul side of first base off the glove of Mark Trumbo. Duarte went all the way to third, and he scored an unearned run on a Mario Lasone ground ball out to short. And the Kernels led 3-2 going into the bottom of the third inning. The Kernels won by the score of 3-2. Tommy Mendoza, after the leadoff single to Jose Duarte, retired the next 12 Burlington batters in a row, retiring the final 3 in the final 3 in the third, and then Mendoza proceeded to set Burlington down in order in the 4th, 5th, 6th innings. Tommy gave up a leadoff single to Jeff Howell in the 7th. The Bees sacrificed Carlos Arroyo sacrificed bunt, got Jeff Howell into scoring position with only 1 out, but Tommy Mendoza got Brady Everett to ground to first and then got Chris McConnell to ground to short. Tommy Mendoza walked Jeremy Jersley with 2 out in the 8th inning. On came Tim Madison. Madison got Mario Lasone to ground one up the middle. Larry Infante sparkled in the field, playing the normal position of all-star Colonel shortstop Heinle Station tonight. Larry got to the ground ball up the middle, threw Lasone out, and that protected the Colonel 3-2 lead. That was in the top of the 8th inning. In the 9th inning, Ryan Aldridge came on, got Miguel Vega on 3 pitches, an 0-2 pitch grounded to short. Jeff Howell then belted one high and deep to right that I think missed being a home run by less than a foot. It hit the top of the right field wall down the line for a 1-out double. Carlos Arroyo's bid for a base hit up the middle was turned aside on a terrific play by Larry Infante up the middle. And then Brady Everett struck out looking with the tying run at third on 3 pitches, and the Kernels came away with a 3-2 win and sweep Burlington. The Kernel record now 9-6 in the second half. Here's the final line score. For the Kernels, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. We stranded 6. Burlington, 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors. They left 5. The winning pitcher, Tommy Mendoza, he has not lost since May 18th. Tommy Mendoza is now 6-5 and 2-0 against Burlington. Tommy Mendoza, the winner, 6-5. The loser was starter Erik Cordier. Cordier in his first Midwest League start, 0-1. Ryan Aldridge notches his 16th save, his third against the Bees. The game only took 2 hours and 16 minutes, and a Thirsty Thursday crowd, a Bucket Cup Thursday crowd of 2,708 saw the Kernels edge the Bees 3-2. We'll be back in just a moment with our PRC play of the game here on the Kernel Curtain Call.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
Tommy Mendoza's 7 2/3 innings of magnificent starting pitching, coupled with clutch relief from Tim Madison and Ryan Aldridge, spell a Kernel sweep of the Bees. 3-2, the Kernels win here tonight and now have a 9-6 record in the second half. It's time now to focus the spotlight on our play of the game. It's sponsored by PRC. PRC, a job at PRC is a job you'll love. Their benefit package is so good that they term it Life Essentials. What are the Life Essential benefits at PRC? How about a flexible work schedule and casual dress, paid training, a 401k retirement savings plan, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, all a part of the Life Essentials benefit package at PRC. You can learn much more about the fabulous career opportunities at PRC by logging on to their website, www.prcnet.com. That's www.prcnet.com. Burlington got a leadoff single in this game in the top of the 7th, with the Kernels leading 3-2 from Jeff Howell, who had 3 of the B6 hits. Carlos Arroyo successfully sacrificed the tying run Howell the second. That brought up Brady Everett. Here's our first of 2 PRC plays of the game.
Pitch is about to be headed home from Tommy. Ground ball to first. Trumbo has it, and Trumbo makes the play himself for the second out of the inning. Big second out as Brady Everett stroked that 3-2 pitch off the end of the bat and bounces out to first.
That was a big out. And our second and final PRC play of the game, the ground ball out to first sent the tying run Jeff Howell to third base with 2 out. Chris McConnell was at the plate. Here's our second and final PRC play of the game.
Tying run at third, 2 out. Burlington batting, top of the 7th inning, 3-2 Kernels. Chris McConnell on the 1-2 delivery, bounces it up the middle, and it's fielded by Infante. The throw to first in time. Tommy Mendoza gets Chris McConnell to bounce out to shortstop Larry Infante, who had to move quickly to his left. Glove it near the base at second, on to first, and Tommy Mendoza has now pitched 7 very strong innings. The Bees had the tying run at second with only 1 out. Tommy
Tommy Mendoza kept the ball on the infield and prevented Burlington from tying the game.
That's why we chose that sequence. Tommy getting Brady Everett for the second out of the seventh with the tying run at second, and Tommy getting Chris McConnell for the final out with the tying run at third as our PRC plays of the game. 3-2 Kernels, the Kernel homestand record, 6-2. We'll be back in just a moment with a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here on the Kernel Curtain Call.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Kuehl Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Kuehl Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Kuehl Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Kuehl Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykuehl.com. Randy Kuehl Honda, where they treat you right.
Well, thanks for being with us after this Kernel exhilarating 3-2 victory. The Kernel record now in the second half 9-6. Our record in one-run games in the second half is 4-6, and the Kernels complete this homestand with a sterling mark of 6-2, affecting a 4-game sweep of Burlington behind Tommy Mendoza, who wins his 6th, and Ryan Aldridge, who notches his team-high 16th save. The Kernels will be flying high, taking on the best team in the Midwest League this season, the West Michigan Whitecaps. We'll have a word about that in just a moment. Right now, though, State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn are proud to step to the plate to bring us a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's start in the National League this afternoon in our nation's capital. In 11 innings, the Nationals edged Florida 8-7. A final from Philadelphia's Citizens Bank Ballpark. The Padres whipped the Phillies tonight 5-3. Pittsburgh and the Mets played at Shea Stadium, and it was the Mets derailing the Pirates 7-5. Bottom of the ninth inning at Turner Field, and it's the Reds and Braves tied 7-7. The Cubs bowed to the Brewers at Miller Park this evening as Milwaukee shut out the Cubs 2-0 at Miller Park. The Cardinals are reeling. They trail at Minute Maid Park in the top of the 8th to Houston 3-2. And San Francisco has jumped ahead against the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine with 3 in the first inning. The Dodgers batting in the bottom of the first. The Giants lead the Dodgers 3-0. The American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, 2 finals. At Jacobs Field, the Yankees clobbered the Indians tonight 10-4. And Boston shelled the Devil Rays 12-5 at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. They were in the bottom of the 7th inning at U.S. Cellular Field in Chicago, and the White Sox hold a 7-5 advantage over the Orioles. The parent club of our opponents this week, the Bees, the Kansas City Royals, are batting and leading in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Royals trouncing the Blue Jays 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning at Kauffman Stadium. And a pivotal series between our parent club, the Angels, and Oakland. They're in the top of the 2nd inning at the Coliseum, and our Angels trail the Athletics 2-0. Oakland scored 2 in the bottom of the 1st inning. And that completes our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Gary Schubat. Thanks to all of you who made this homestand such a fun and memorable and entertaining space and time. Wow, the Kernels go 6-2, draw their biggest regular season crowd of the year on the 4th of July, 5,119 here on Bucket Cup Thursday, 2,708. Saw the Kernels score 3 in the bottom of the second, and then Tommy Mendoza, combining with Tim Madison and Ryan Aldridge, protected a 3-2 lead the rest of the way as the Kernels sweep the Burlington Bees and finish the 8-game homestand with a mark of 6-2. We'll greet you tomorrow evening from the second largest city in Michigan, Grand Rapids. The Kernels, coming off this 6-2 homestand, will be taking on the West Michigan Whitecaps. The Whitecaps already qualified by virtue of their outstanding first half, and they're 12-2 in the second half. They'll be the more refreshed team. They're playing in Lansing tonight. So the Kernels will load our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach at 1 o'clock this morning, leave at 2, and arrive in the early or mid-morning tomorrow in Grand Rapids. We'll greet you at 5:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. 5:40 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show tomorrow on 1450 KMRY. Scott Unash will have Hawkeye Downs Racing for you here tomorrow night in the zone. Our final score, once again, the Kernels complete a 4-game sweep of Burlington by edging the Bees behind Tommy Mendoza, who's 6-5 now. Kernels 3, Burlington 2. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.